Right, so it's a Star Wars Session 8. And carry on.
Right.
Someone who's not eaten.
Right. So, what we just follow and give, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
just whatever you want to tell them that happened last time.
Yeah, basically just Seyfall decided to train us three, that being Ren, Penn and An, Ren, Penn, because he feels that we just need to be ready for the world ahead of us. We're now on, what's the name of the planet?
Rishi.
At a dark temple that he's been guarding for 60 years?
60 years.
Yeah. Been guarding for 60 years.
Imagine I was just like, I don't remember any of that.
Wasn't really much else done. Oh, HK droid. There's a HK droid. Best
That was
thing
exactly.
best thing ever.
He's Andy,
But he's
your
my
best
new
friend.
best friend, by the way. Doesn't like me too much, probably, but that's fine. He'll be my friend one day. I think that was most.
He went to go into the temple.
Oh yeah, I just left him to like.
I then
do things.
turned to Penn to say, let's go to the temple. And then she's like, but everything feels so evil and dark. And I said, you know how I was telling you about the Force? Yeah, people don't feel the dark. Only Force people feel the dark. And she's like, but do you feel the dark? And I was like, no. No, I can use the Force, but I don't feel the dark. That's not normal. Let's go. And she's like, got a bad feeling about it.
And then it ended.
Oh no, she was all like,
Screen white.
What was it? I was like, I've got a bad feeling about this.
I don't like to take people's I've got a bad feeling about this from away from them.
Pretty sure
So-
we said that as well at some point.
Yeah.
So
So
we
the
ended
current
with us
theme?
all running
Yeah.
into the temple.
So you were on the abandoned spaceship.
Yeah, it was a salvage op job. Somebody wanted some information from the computer in the medical bay or the science bay. Can't
Yeah,
remember
science
which.
labs, yeah.
So we went to the ship, split up,
Of course.
because that's what you do.
Safety first.
So me and Thalia went off with the science droid,
Cyanine.
Cyanine,
Yep.
where we then split up again.
Again, safety first.
Me trying to find the captain's quarters, Thalia trying to find the medbay.
Mhm.
He then shat the bed, and I had to change direction and go run save him from a door opening and shutting.
Was that what the thunk was?
What? Give, continue.
I told him to stop being an idiot, and we went off to find the science bay together.
By he means Thalia.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Ran into Cyanine along the way at some point. Got to Science Bay, found some Bacta tanks. I tried to salvage them, or attempted to salvage them. Put them onto some wee dollies, where Cyanine went through to find the computer data.
Yep, the data core in the science lab, yeah.
This is skipping over about half an hour of us getting through a door, by the way. Once
That's
we're
the
in
title of the episode.
decontamination.
the door,
door.
yeah.
The decontamination door dilemma.
Is that the one where you went to kick? You kicked it?
I kick everything.
It's a sign of affection.
Emma found a whole load of people in stasis, like 500 people or something.
What?
And all the power in the ship is getting diverted there, so that the vault door that the other half of the random NPCs went to open wouldn't open,
The crew of the Twila Bamba.
including the brown Twi'lek, who's not brown,
She's red.
she's red.
Red skinned. Twila Brown.
Yep.
That was her name. Captain.
She is not very friendly. She just doesn't talk ever,
They
unless
discovered
necessary.
this.
Yeah, I got that impression from him.
Because they had to do
Not very nice woman.
the lift-off part back in time. Yeah. I should maybe have explained that on the recordings to explain the weird timeline differences of why, but I didn't.
second in the command was more helpful.
Graham.
Graham. He,
Imagine I got sued for that reference.
we told Captain Brown that this is the reason the door wouldn't open where the power was going. She promptly came up and turned it off. And we are now waiting to get into the vault, which may or may not be open. We may have or may not have killed 500 people. Or Craig may have not. No, not Craig. Emma may have just stood there and watched someone kill 500 people and done absolutely nothing.
I don't like that person.
You like who? The captain who did it, or Emma for not doing anything about it?
We were just standing there.
It's all around a good
So
situation.
yeah, that's where they ended, with the vault doors slowly opening, and then it went, screen wiped away. And you guys ended with An Daar entering the temple, and you running off to the temple after her.
No.
No,
No,
I
other way
I
around.
chased after
Right,
her.
okay. I just couldn't quite remember the order.
I don't chase.
Wait, you chased him?
I didn't chase him. I walked after him.
Yeah. So let's check the recording, shall we?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm pretty sure I'm right, and if I'm not, I'm meant to be.
And Penn halfway across the bridge going, I've got a bad feeling about this. Scream out.
Going. I don't think I want to go in here.
It's always like the Pokemon battle music that was.
Do you know who's not chased? Who's the character?
Yeah, definitely not. Thalia Virtue Smith. Emphasis on the sex.
Just wait till we get into the temple and Scooby-Doo back and forth, chased by force ghosts.
Oh, you don't know. Right, so I think the best thing to do is maybe start off with the first split group. Considering it's the most cut and paste that we need to do, considering we're down 2 of those people. Obviously we're down Craig permanently until future potential
You can play
gifts.
Emma, you can play.
No, it's okay.
I'll go Thalia.
So
Boobs.
to wrap up a lot of that though, it does mean that Emma's character will not be attempting to hack the data just to solve any problems, because I don't want her character to get into trouble when she's not here to have condoned it, so she just didn't do that. It does, however, mean that you'll probably be paid for the job and not murdered, which I would say is a bonus. Right, so we'll fade in on the Torrens Locket, which is the huge freighter that the Twila is attached to. We'll maybe like fade in through the cockpit of the Twila, and we'll go past Lily on comms with all the crumbs of the crackers all down her front, as she's been nervously eating, waiting on the crew to return. Maybe like just go through all the corridors in the camera as it snakes its way through the airlock, and then finds its way down to the cargo bay where I think all of you will be now, maybe.
No.
And Graham is just staring. Mr. Graham, I should say, is just staring into this huge cargo hold. It's very dimly lit, and you just see the biggest smile on his face. You can probably enter at this point. The captain hasn't come back yet, though. So it's you and whoever else wants to be there, I guess. Maybe Cyanide and Thalia are maybe helping cart everything back, but you've probably been asked to come help Argraham, narratively speaking. Miss Jhones, come see this, is a very excited Mr. Graham says. Probably more excited than my voice gives him credit for.
So this is what you're here for?
No, this is entirely new to us. But look.
I look.
Good. You head in and it's a huge like a proper like gymnasium sized hold. And there's a bunch of wrecked ships in the back of it. Like shuttles, basically. It's almost like this has maybe been like almost like a kind of secret docking bay. But you see loads of crates in front of all them, and they're all got specific markings on it. Do you have any criminal connections of any kind? Do you have anything that would? Do you have like knowledge underworld or anything?
No. Are you dirty, wee dirty?
No.
Right. You wouldn't recognise.
Streetwise.
You know, it would need to be underworld knowledge to be honest to get this.
I don't know.
It has to be something pretty seedy.
I
But
took education because I didn't have any knowledge skills, so I thought I was the most general.
Well, if you've got education, do you want to roll education actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your knowledge in it?
My intellect is 2 and my education is 1.
Cool.
Be 1 yellow, 1 green.
One green, one yellow. Yeah. I'll roll that for you just now then, and I'll see what we get. Just because I'd rather give you a chance to know it instead of just not knowing it. And then I'll make sure I bring up the actual file that actually has it. 1 yellow, 1 green. Never to be seen. Rolling. You get a success and a threat, right? I want you to narratively explain the threat because strain doesn't really cover it unless you want to think that. But you recognise all the markings on the crates themselves. If you give me 2 seconds, I will bring up the file I need to bring up. See if I've actually written it down. That would be nice if I had. Please stand by. Okay, you recognise 40 crates of Avabush spice. Avabush spice is
Narcotic.
it's an incredibly lethal drug. Yeah.
Cool.
That alone is probably worth 80k. What you see. The threat. How do you want that to come across narratively? Because I feel it would be more of a narrative reason than just taking strain. But I want you to have a think about that. Maybe you're not particularly pro drugs. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it catches you off guard. Maybe you think it's just made this job more dangerous. Why do they have all this? Like, why do they have all these drugs here? But yeah,
I've been sent to collect bounties on junkies that have not been paying their bills, so I know what it does to people.
At any point as well, this is actually in the Edge of the Empire book, so feel free to read it under the gear section.
Black market, but isn't it?
Yeah, so feel free to read that because you're welcome to know everything about it. But yeah, that's Avabush spice that they've got. That's why he's pretty happy because he knows he's going to make about double on the job purely because of that alone. So that's why Mr. Greatly is very happy.
Yeah.
So like after, like, what do you say once you see the crates then?
They're ruining people's life worse money.
From what I hear about upstairs, I don't think it's any worse than that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's probably for the best then. You see him kind of like shuffle his shoulders a bit and look a bit like, I thought you were entirely complicit maybe. Maybe you thought you were a bit kind of harder than that, like a colder person than what maybe you'd kind of let on. So you can look through it and go like, should we get this on the Tula Labamba then? As he like pushes over like a hover slide.
Well, you've hired me. Let's do it.
Excellent. So you can start loading up that. As for that, I think what I'm going to do, guys, as well is I wouldn't mind switching between the 2 groups, but I think I want to get him to a certain point, so I'm going to stick with Gib for a bit.
That's cool.
But have a try and ponder ahead if you can.
I'm allowing me to munch, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so you spend the better part of a day stripping the ship, basically, of everything that you can. It takes about a day to do that.
So we get all 3 back to tanks off?
Yeah, you've got all 3 of them off, yeah.
Cool.
You rip bits here and there and everywhere else, basically, from the ship, and collect some supplies, obviously. Thalia collected all those medical supplies as well, and like a bunch of other med stuff.
I'd like to finally go to the captain's quarters, where I was heading in the first place.
Yeah, are you looking for anything in particular?
Safe, any valuables, they're easily pocketable.
You're looking for a door puzzle? I just want to put that out there. You say to me, now Ryan, why do I always get door puzzles? And now you've literally asked for 2.
Safe might be open.
That is correct. The safe might be open.
Can you blow up the safe?
Yeah.
That was EJ's way out of prison. So
Yeah, twice.
you can go to the captain's quarters. Yes. Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
In this flurry of stuff? Yeah, sure. Right, cool. You clank your way through everything. Gravity's still messed up in loads of places. Not as bad as it was before though. Like the power diverting might have helped quite a bit. It's almost like the entire ship's kind of like 80% active now, instead of just being kind of crap and patched in by the wonderful Cynine's mechanical skills. You get up to the captain's quarters doors though. It's locked.
I want to break the door in.
Cool. With what?
With pure physical input.
Input?
Input.
Knock out my
I want to input my foot.
Yeah, sure. Do you wanna give me your brawl?
My brawl is 2 yellow.
2 yellow. Let me build this. This gave me no. Oh, it's calculated now. 1 failure, 1 advantage. Oh no, sorry. 5 failures. 1 advantage. Yeah.
What is it?
What were you?
I wouldn't shake it too much. Okay, might roll it again.
Go on.
Yeah. I love how I didn't even read the 5. But yeah, 5 failed.
Suddenly, my
So-
failing to push a button doesn't feel so bad.
So you hear clank. How would you like to spend your advantage?
I know it's in the button. To open the door.
No, but
Automatic
you
release
can
button.
you can notice that it's a very heavily sealed maglock door for a reason. It's almost like there might be a safe inside. You get a comm from any one of the crew, not the captain, probably Mr. Graham, and he's like, everything okay, everyone? And everybody checks in. He's like, I heard a big clank there.
Clankety clank, clankety clank.
Could do with some assistance turning it into captain's quarters. Could be some valuables in there. It's where it's most likely to be kept.
That's not a bad call, says Graham of the comms. I'll send Lily. And then, you hear Graham, Lily, are you listening? Can you go get the door?
Really? A door?
And then that's what you hear, and the comms go quiet. Nobody knows if Lily's gonna go. So it's had to wait on that. Are you wanting to wait by the door? Because it took you about half an hour to get there or something. Do you wanna wander about?
I'll
or
have a
something from
kind of inspect around the door, see if there's like another way in.
How do you want to inspect? You tell me a skill, and I'll let you know.
Perception.
Yeah, sure.
Which is 1 1.
1 green, 1 yellow.
1 green, 1 yellow, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, you got a success, a triumph, and a threat.
Well played.
How does he notice the button?
Nope, but if you want to spend all of that, and I don't know if you want to, again, narratively speaking,
Maybe
this,
an event.
well, sorry, there isn't an event, no, but if you want to spend all of that on learning a bit about this room, you may. Again, I don't want to say what you learn, because that just seems entirely contradictory to actually being able to spend that, but I can give you information regarding what you want to do, basically. It's up to you trying to spend the time for that. Also, think narratively about the threat again, because I feel like when you're in a spooky spaceship, strain isn't that bad, but I want you to decide what you want to buy with the good stuff, to decide what the bad stuff means as well.
Yeah.
Instead of going, I'll take a strain, and then finding out something cool, you go, oh, maybe I'd have been stressed out about that fact, or something instead. So I'll wait until you decide what you want to do with your currency. But you tell me what you want to do with it. At any point, feel free to want time to think as well. I'll happily jump across.
Yeah.
But also, guys, don't just sit there leaving him to flounder. all of you jump in and help him. He's got a triumph, he's got his success, a triumph, and a threat for perceiving the door. But
If only you had such a good roll when trying to get in the door. You look good.
But he can spend the triumphal information about what he was trying to do. I just can't tell what that information is yet until he spends it. But if you can think of something more interesting,
See
feel
that
free to suggest it.
physically attacking the door is not going to do any good. Needs to be thought around. Maybe break off the panels either side of the door, see if I can get into any of the electronics.
Could you notice a weak point, or in the physical door itself, or in how the door is constructed? If you do have mechanics and things like that, to perhaps see a weak point.
What does the door look like? Is it completely solid? Is there a glass panel?
It's like a. If you imagine, like, you know how most Star Wars doors are like big grey slates? It's kind of like a smaller, like one person sized slidey slate thing.
Yeah.
That's sealed over.
Okay.
So it's one of those death doors you push a button.
Close the blast doors. Close the blast doors.
Open the blast doors.
But none of the other doors, like, have looked much different. You see, most of the doors have been slidey, magnetic locked doors anyway. So it's technically a fairly modern ship. This at one point. Because a lot of ships just have big doors you just push over and lock with.
Is there any doors that you've had encountered on the ship that, like, if there's no power, you can just kind of slide them with strength open? Or are they like?
Tried that.
Well, they forced open the door earlier,
Yeah.
but this doesn't have a split, and that one was clanking and not sealing.
I think there was something in the middle, and then we could leave her open. Can't leave this one open, is it?
Yeah, there isn't any kind of like seams that you can see.
You need to magnetize your feet. That's what you need to do. So you need to be like clonk.
Well, technically it's in a spacesuit.
And that'll have magnetic lock boots.
They do.
Just be like clonk, and then be like wah.
Or just do the splits. And open the door.
Yeah.
1 foot on the wall and 1 foot on the door. You need Thalia for that, actually. She'd be great at that.
That's what I was thinking.
Knew that was coming. Yeah.
Well, that'll happen.
Mine is not bad.
But
Imagine,
right,
my
so-
roll like that.
you have a triumph to spend. What do you want with your triumph and what do you want with your threat? Come on down.
What's panel that sparks?
Oh. Or no sparks because there's no power, so you can magnetically open
No,
it.
there's power now. There's power.
Not here. Not this door.
No, there is power here.
There's power here.
Power.
Told them earlier, it's like about 5 minutes ago, the whole ship seems about 80%
Oh, yeah,
now.
it's a little better.
Turns out not supporting 500 life pods is good.
Can't believe they killed 500 people.
Think of the moral shift you guys would have taken.
I would have had this fight with two little Bamba, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you won, you'd have a ship.
You could have both of them.
If you want.
No, there was a ship at the end of that fight. There was no possible lose.
You hear coming through the comms. But you need to spend this currency.
No idea.
Idea? I've given you an option. You can get
Yeah.
information about it if you want me to spend it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You wander about, looking for vents and panels and stuff, and then you like rip open the panel. Like you find out the kind of loose panel thing. You rip it open. It's got like a diagnostic station underneath. It's almost like a kind of emergency kind of when your ship's kind of wrecked. Check here, and you can see that the captain's quarters has no pressure of any kind in it. It's almost like it might be open to space.
So the safe has flown away.
Well, the room just maybe sealed itself, so it didn't just.
The whole ship wasn't vented.
Yeah.
I really wish you'd opened that door.
Yeah. That's why I said wait till the end before you spend the threat. But completing the narrative is more interesting when you know everything of the scene.
Fancy.
So, you turn around and there's a Wookiee right there. Not in a spacesuit, just with the kind of breather mask thing on and goggles. Crumbs everywhere. Crackers,
Yeah.
snappers.
Afraid it's a dead end, Billy. We're gonna have to go in from the outside if we want in. But
Best backer.
It's the worst best backer in the book.
Your reply? Not sure?
Yeah.
Cool. You might have to leave that door then. The second decontamination door dilemma. Right. In that case, you and Lily can head back. You can head, like, help out packing up everything to the ship. And unless there's anything specific that you want to do in the ship left over, you'll probably head for the rendezvous point
Take
with
the
your
ship.
fleet.
We need a ship.
Yeah, fight Lily.
No, not the Tree of the Bamba.
both the massive ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. You know we've salvaged
We gotta
everything
try
of
it.
any importance from
Yeah,
it.
yeah, but can it fly? Clearly have power.
It can float through space.
That's flying.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's flying with style.
abandoned
Floating with style.
Slowly just vent different compartments to move it.
Are there engines? If there are engines, let's take.
It
Oh,
doesn't have an FTL drive.
does it have escape pods? Let's take escape pods.
It's got
What
lots
was
of
the
pods.
component that always broke down in the Millennium Falcon and like
That was all of them.
Yeah, almost every part. Generally,
Nico
the thing,
says it.
the thing that breaks all the time is generally a motivator, regardless of what it's in.
Go get some motivators because we're probably going to be stuck in a wreck at some point.
Specifically look for a motivator.
Yeah. Not make sure they're not bad motivation.
Right. The crew pack up everything. You obviously spend, as I say, the better part of like 24 hours in
What
space
about
doing it
those
on
slightly
shifts.
damaged ships?
What's your salesman called? Mr. Motivator.
What about those damaged ships in that vault place? Take one of them. Do one of them.
Yeah. Are any of them capable of hyperdrive?
None of them have hyperdrives. They look like they were. The freighter would come in, obviously, and then they would fly out. But again, this isn't like an ordinary dock. Normally, you just have like an open wall
Yeah.
or even like a slidey wall thing. It was like a heavy reinforced shielded room. Like this wasn't even detectable from the outside. This looks like a smuggling like dock built into a huge ship, which is odd because it's a medical ship, from what you could tell. Bit weird. But it had a smuggling part full of like illegal narcotics. So yeah, and all those life pods and people and mystery data and a captain's quarters with a safe full of untold wonders like robot leg eye-heels, lightsaber blade heels.
I wasn't there.
As you literally would have just been like,
Fun.
Right, so again, talking aside, so
Left-handed one.
moving on, we'll have you guys pretty much head to the fleet then. Right, you guys screen wipe across, you pull it, like you drop out of hyperspace again. I'm assuming you didn't particularly want to have any conversations with the crew, unless if you did, you can do at any point. But you kind of get from Thalia that she's not really digging the fact that like 500 life pods went off during that, and she's kind of mentioned it quietly to you. She's not saying anything to Psi 9, but she's kind of went, and she tells you about it basically. I don't really want to RP Craig's character again because I'd rather he did that when you catch him up on what I've made him say. But she basically went, yeah, I fix people, I don't kill people. I get that some people need to die, but I don't really want that. So I think I might just get off here. And it's the best way to write Craig out, I think. I think it also makes sense for his character that he wouldn't stand by 500 people being killed.
so, do we get his cut?
Oh no, Craig went on the mission, it's his money.
Oh, I was hoping he wouldn't take the blood money.
So, you come out of hyperspace, and then you see this huge ass fleet. Like, it's huge. And there's a massive ship in the centre of it that is. You could be mistaken if you thought it was shiny and gold. but then at the same time, it probably is pretty gold. So it's got a kind of like brassy kind of tint to it, basically, essentially. And in space, everything's dark anyway. So, but that is the Adelai, you know, the capital ship.
Yeah.
And you just pull up and
The
the dark.
Space Palace.
Pretty much a space palace. Yeah. Did you listen to the job
About
call?
the hut.
Yeah,
And his
cool.
floating space palace.
It's Nico the Hut and his floating space palace, the Adelai. I do like my references. So the Tuolabamba like does its kind of you hear Lily bark into the the comms thing, and then you hear
What
that
did she say?
arr arr arr. She waits. She gets her reply. Arr arr.
Emotions. It's
And
powerful.
the subtitles come up. It's just a question mark. So again, crumbs, crackers. Lily's diet's healthy. You just pull into the Adelai kind of docking bay, if you will. And again, if you're looking around outside, like there's just constant there's freighters moving around. They all look like gunships. There's lots of fighters moving between places. You'll see ships dropping out of hyperspace and pulling in and stuff, just like you guys did. You'll see ships shooting off. This looks almost like its own spaceport. There's that much traffic going on. There's probably more traffic than most planets have around them. Maybe not Purison, because that's huge and busy. But how bizarre. You just pull up and just land. And the entire crew have to go in front of Niska the Hut to finish the job. Little Bamba's ramp goes down. A couple of the pirate goons come on. Again, various races, probably Weequay, if you know what those look like.
Ugly, if I remember right.
That's racist. I'll see if I can find.
Really weird head on Stockholm.
No, let me see if I can find a Weequay for you.
For some reason, I'm pretty sure I know what a weekly looks like as well. It's just not.
You will know what.
One of the bits that's on.
When you see
I'll
them,
find you a picture of it. That's not the right one. It's probably in a pirate book.
Jump up the water generator. Let's just look at a picture of all the races.
Let me find.
Tasty delicious.
Tasty delicious.
No.
Pizza.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the pizza. So it was good.
Don't like the pizza?
There's like no meat on it.
Got one, yeah.
Zero meat?
Yeah. Almost going on.
Didn't you realise that?
I don't see a thing on.
I did.
But
It's a
maybe you do.
disgrace.
I guess they're a little, yeah. There's the
Well,
picture
actually,
I've got
like a
there.
bite, it was just like
There's. Oh, there you go. I'll let you see first.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Okay.
That's wise. And oh god.
The only ones I've got are male, and they look a bit more.
Oh, they look
Somewhere
nice.
between
I
Male and Kardashian.
think I'm used to seeing them in
Yeah, they kind of
Dark Forces.
more like
So,
An Daar is what I would say. If I'm
everything
reading
looks
this one
like they're in
right.
Dark Forces.
Right, so that's a couple of guards that come on. They speak to the captain and Mr. Graham and motion to you lot. They're carrying pretty big rifles as well, but they don't look like they're holding them to attack you guys. It's just in case you've tried anything, they'd have them. And they motion everyone off basically, so they all go off.
Take the capital ship.
What, the Adelai?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to see that. No, literally I would. do it.
We'll
'Cause
do it
I know
right
how much Niska has, so his ship.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, we'll just go in.
Because that worked perfectly. I don't see any flaws with that. Imagine Niska was the weakest minded hut of all. So you head through. Obviously, you come out of the docking bay and you all head up, and you're escorted by these two weekly guys. Well, let's just be gender, neutral and have one guy, one girl. And
Gender neutral just be having people.
yeah, I know, right? But I don't want to do that. But thank you for the correct terminology. Minus 10 XP. You're deficit 20.
Is that all? I'm doing well today.
Only today. Well, I'll add to the pile later. I've got a separate XP tracker for you. Right, you head through, And you pass loads of corridors. Obviously, you're obviously going to what you can assume is probably the audience chamber for Niska. Cynine's clanking behind you, carrying obviously the data pad with the information that she has to present, or it has to present. You see a lot of, like, probably not great things as you're walking through these corridors. Like, there's probably like people in shackles. There's maybe people being dragged for bounties. You're probably, out of everyone, you're probably the least put off by this because you've probably seen the most of this. Emma hasn't. I don't think Emma has decided whether or not she's actually worked with Niska before or not, but she'll deal with that when I speak to her. But yeah, like, these are escorted through the ship. Quite, like, as I say, it's quite a long walk. The Adelai's huge. The Adelai's probably as long as that other ship, probably maybe twice as long actually as the other ship. The freighter was huge, by the way. It was a huge giant block essentially. But Adelai's probably maybe twice as big as that, maybe more. It's hard to judge space, you know. I also want to base it on an actual ship, so I've not picked the exact ship I wanted to do yet, but I need to have a look for it. I've got one in mind, but no, I mean the Adelai, not not the Torrance Locket. I'm happy for that to be Borcube.
A Haven battlecruiser.
I'd be okay with a Haven battlecruiser.
I thought you would be.
You're a Haven in my story, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. May or may not be.
What's happening?
Right. You eventually get to the audience chamber, and being escorted out of the chamber, you recognise someone, and they're being escorted by very big, burly Transhodans, which are like, you know, Bosk from he wears the yellow flight suit and he's got bare feet.
He's a lizard man.
He's like a lizard face man.
The bounty hunter?
He's a bounty hunter, yeah.
Is he the one that's in the Doctor Who costume? One of the bounty hunters in the lineup is also a Doctor Who alien.
He's right next to Boba Fett in the sense that, like, when you see over the guy's shoulder, you see the feet. It's his feet. And yeah, so there's two Trandoshans that are holding EJ. Would you believe my luck? Madame Jhones!
I would believe anything from you, and I just walk past them.
Jhones! You can't walk past them because they're in the doorway.
These people will die.
Barge past them.
Don't take space.
Yeah, I'd like
I'm
to see
gonna
that.
use my new best.
These guys are like twice the size of you.
This is what I have with you and him.
They're huge.
I like the band.
You can not talk to them if you don't want, that's entirely fine. But they have stopped because he has motioned to you, and obviously they're kind of like, fuck. So yeah, Cyanine looks confused. I was like, who is this man? And Thalia is just kind of, I don't know, smiles, I guess, based on her history with EJ.
Yeah, her sexy history.
Yeah, Thalia slept with EJ.
Yeah, more.
Maybe Thalia just goes up and hugs him. I think that's maybe best.
Keep it clean.
And wait for
Them to get out of the way, yeah.
this to be
Like-
over.
Do you have an issue with EJ? What's your problem with EJ?
Sacked.
Is it because he's human? Are you being racist?
Yes.
So you don't respond to Miss Jones, or Madame Jones as he calls you? And he's like, what did I ever do to offend you? And I think he'd probably finish off with saying blue. Because you're turquoise, right?
Yeah.
So you're very much face to face.
We have business.
I could have business for you.
Do you?
Yes. As he's like, he's held by, like, you know, like by each arm, like quite like tightly by these two kind of guys who are kind of grunting at him now. And he was like,
Ask
kind
if
of
he has a
motions
ship.
to him.
Ask if he has a ship.
He's like, I may or may not have been picked up on Tatooine by some friends. This is them. Perhaps we could. Yes, you're being paid, right?
Maybe.
Maybe is the best answer. How about maybe? He doesn't point because that's just motion. How about maybe you help EG out, and I pay you back any number back. I will help you out. And he leans in really close, like, I need 50,000 credits, and I will give you anything. And leans back out. He's like, so we have a deal. That kind of, the smile of, do not leave me.
He has a lot of connections. We do need a ship.
That's fine.
And then I think the two Bandersmans get like kind of like they're busy like snarling at each other and they kind of like hold him off. And he's like, I am counting on you, Miss Jhones. I expect to see you in Cargo Bay 4.
I really wish.
As he's being slowly dragged off and his feet are dragging.
I wish Thalia was called Thalia Jones, because then EJ could be like, Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones!
So you kind of hear him just kind of like blissfully be dragged off down the corridor, and then Thalia's like, oh, what did he whisper?
The ETs again.
Fair enough. Shall we? Right, so you're brought into like the kind of audience chamber. This is the most vulgarist, like opulent room you've ever seen. Like essentially, pharaohs of old threw up in here. Like it's pretty bad. And then
I took it that it was so opulent that pharaohs were just like, oh my god, it's so opulent.
There is a circle, like a kind of circular platform. Around that there is water that has like almost like kind of water fountains spouting out. In the water stands 12 Twi'lek girls in the circle. All of them have like kind of big kind of rod things that have like kind of fans at the end of them. And they're all standing facing obviously the doorway that you came in. That's slightly raised up. Out of that, the entire thing's horrible gold, with like weird imagery of Hut everywhere, like with all these sexy ladies of various races. And you're told to basically stand there, and it's like a kind of, it's the place that is looked down upon from this seat, if you will,
of sexy ladies.
with the 12 sexy ladies. That is Bosk, yeah. That might decide, but that's interesting. It's the exact same suit, but drops. Yeah, but
I
that's the
thought
type
it was the entire costume, like head and all, but it's just the suit.
But that's the race anyway.
Yeah.
The Gorn aren't 100 miles away from that race, let's face it. But yeah, so you're rented there, and it's like wait, and the logical and cunning Niska will be here soon. So you're left in the room. Cyanine kind of like fiddles with the kind of compad almost nervously, probably because of what happened on that mission. Let's face it. The crew of the Bamba just don't really seem particularly phased. It's possibly they've worked with Niska before and they're used to this.
Yeah.
You see kind of like Mr. Graham just kind of like wink and like motion to the girls to see if he gets any reaction out of them. One or two giggle, and then the others kind of like stamp the big kind of sceptry rod things on the ground, and they stop and like that. So they're all very like disciplined, you could say. And then you hear this big kind of like boom sounds, like bass, essentially. And then the platform like opens up, and then Niska comes out of it. You just see this Hut rise out of the floor, and standing next to him is a droid with him. And all the girls are like kneeling down facing him, with the kind of the rods in the air. The Bamba crew also go down on one knee. Cyanine goes down on one knee. Thalia doesn't. What do you do?
I don't.
Cool. With that, you probably see at either side of you. There's probably like I don't know. Who would you want out of the Bamba to be at one side of you? Because I think it'll be you, Thalia, and at either side it'll be crew of the Bamba. So who would you like at your side?
Graham.
Cool. So Mr. Graham will be at your side, and let's just say Lily's at the other side of and you just like hands come up to you, and you're like, cool, you down. So as if to say, you want to be kneeling for this.
Okay.
Clunk.
I get the message.
Yeah. You're welcome to stand, but I wanted to see how that went. With that as well, Niska comes up and just kind of sits there, and I don't know if this makes any sense, but in my head it does. But Niska looks like he has posture. whereas Jabba looked like he was very slouched and kind of like lazy in the back, but Niska looks like he's, you know, almost as if he was about to walk.
As if he was the model of hats and huts.
Not quite as dapper as that. There's a big kind of like, almost like big square like slabs, almost big gold slabs, and a big necklace around his neck, with again various symbols on it.
Like a pimple.
I mean, you could say that. I mean,
I can't wait to hear your hut voice.
the 12, oh god, yeah, the 12 Twi'lek ladies, maybe a given for that. And then the droid goes, the great logical, cunning, and mastermind Niska will hear you.
Okay. I'm happy to let Graham do the talking.
He's not, you're talking. You're the only player here. I'm not going to have an NPC and an NPC talk and make the entire deal without any player input. Never hand over full control, game. And you wanted to get better at RP, so come on.
Yeah.
I've given you something up against RP. I gave you EJ.
I know, EJ!
I'm proud of you, Gib. I'm really happy.
Look, he's now have killed 500 people and not taken the ship from the people who killed 500 people, and now you've left EJ, who could possibly also been a connection to get me a ship. I mean, us a ship. Let's get this dealt with, people. Let's get this dealt with.
So, the droid kind of looks around and maybe Graham nudges you and you're possibly standing again.
Does Nishka have a title that I could use?
You heard just what the logical, the cunning, the mastermind. Whereas you may remember from your Star Wars that Jabba was like, you know, the mighty Jabba and everything. So it's almost like they just like really fancy adjectives.
Okay.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Even the sound of it is something quite atrocious.
No, I'm not going to say that.
So the droid, the blinking eyes, just kind of like look as if to say,
All this silence now is encounter.
Grand, Nishka. We have returned from the salvage job in the ship
the Torrens locked it.
with the data you requested.
You see that like Niska's eyes were kind of on the girls, like kind of like looking around, just, you know, he acknowledged that you guys were there, but like it's the door facing us.
Underneath.
But he as soon as that you mentioned the data from the Torrens locket, like you see his eyes snap to you as you're speaking, and then he kind of like taps the droid, and the droid motions to the wall where you now notice there's actually guards there as well. You may not have noticed them before, but you do now. They head over and they put their hands up basically for the data.
This science droid has it.
Heck yeah. Your character.
Like, hi Emma, you were given to a hat, sorry.
But on the plus side, you'll never get that money back for Steven. Yeah, so I think Sanine's kind of probably hesitant about giving over the data. I feel Emma would be hesitant about giving over the data since it, you know, seems, the whole thing seems shady, let's face it. But probably gives it over anyway. So against more weakly that are the guards here. Takes the data. And then Niska just again like fondling his kind of like big kind of plate chain thing that he's got around his neck. I'm trying not to speak in Hut because it's horrible. But Niska says a few like, you know, Hut sounds. He speaks in Hut for a bit. And sadly, I think, was it Thalia that spoke a little Hut? I think she did. I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
I'm sure she spoke a little Hutties because it had the word teas in it, I believe. And the droid goes, the logical and cunning Niska appreciates your efforts and hopes you found good salvage. Do you have the salvage inventory?
Yes.
The droid hands up like the other data pad to you again, to pass to again this guard. The guard takes it as well and totals it. And basically, let's see. Let's see what the total of this was. I did change some numbers. So I had a total to tell you to make it sound really fun and exciting about how much money you made. But I'll just tell you the maths I used to work it out, right? You're all getting 35k each. So if you work out what that was, minus a quarter for the ship costs. So everything was totaled because you're selling everything. And then the quarter of that was taken out for the ship costs, and then the rest was divided by the crew. And that's what he's made. So you actually made a shit ton of money. So that's pretty good. So 35k is what you made.
So not 35k k minus a quarter.
No.
The total minus
You
a quarter, then
each.
split is 35k.
Yeah.
Right.
So usual always. I basically did the part where I'm going to give you what you're writing on your sheet.
Yeah.
And that is 35k each.
So you get 3.5 grand, Steve.
10%
Of everything.
Yeah, that's not something she could have promised.
That's what I expect.
But you also don't know how much they made.
Hmm?
You also don't know how much they made. So
To go back. Oh, we'll only go 10 grand here. There's 1,000.
We made 2 credits.
Hard times.
I'll round up. Here's one.
Hard times, Steve.
So that is split between like Twyla, R, Lily, Thalia, Serendipity, and Sinai.
So if we had killed the crew,
So is that
then
35
could we have a lot more?
for all of us?
Each.
Or 35 each, yes.
Each. So as I said, you've made a lot of money in this job.
So 3 player characters have 100 grand plus a little bit.
Plus 5.
What happens if you turn on Thalia and happen to mug her before she leaves?
I have an idea for her money.
What happens if we accidentally shoot EJ?
Me and Craig have discussed what he's done with his money. Craig knew what he was making the night we finished that session. We discussed it.
Does he know EJ needs money though?
He did not know EJ was going to be here. But you'll see. Well, EJ needs 50k.
Really?
That might be something you want to talk about after you leave this chamber.
Nah, I don't want to.
I'll happily tell you.
Shut up.
So
You know what about it?
Niska barks some more in obviously Huttese and asks, and the droid then like looks at him and then looks back and goes, "The logical and cunning Niska asks if there were any complications."
Nothing we couldn't handle.
Niska is most pleased, and then the droid gets hit off the stage, like the podium into the water, and you hear like fizzing and cracking, and then like another droid pops up that looks almost identical. He does not chuckle with laughter. He in fact looks incredibly seriously, and like when he did that, it was just like almost disgust and disappointment, like when you tell a parent a mistake you've made. So it was kind of like that look. Niska doesn't look like he kind of enjoys a lot of things here. Like again, this almost looks like it's that opulent. It's for show. Like it's almost like it's expected to be like this. So that's what he's like. That's the vibe you get from this because
he's too busy trying to be opulent that he's over opulent.
It's almost like, I don't want to say a hipster hut, but it's
That
not.
hipster hut.
He's not trying to do it to be cruel. He's doing it because it's what all the pirates might expect. So also not being called the Great and Mighty Niska, he's the logical and cunning, which the droid forgot to say. I actually did Adelai that wrong, so I just destroyed her robot for that droid. But I figured that makes sense. That happened, so fuck that droid. But there's another one, identical
So-
looking model.
This hut is doomed.
All huts have replaceable translator droids. That's not a Doom thing. So
The Niska bots.
you don't want that. You don't want that because they'll all be like hut armored. So with that, the new droid goes, "The logical and cunning Niska, the mastermind, asks if you have any further business you wish."
Does he have a ship for sale for something around 100k? Doesn't matter if it's hot, if it makes it cheap. You can't fly it, actually. Never mind.
Imagine they got it, they just crashed it before that phone. Had to make new characters.
No, crashes it right in front of her.
And then they had to,
I'm like, oh.
they had to play bird people from Rishi.
This image of
Rishi's natives are bird people, by the way.
Okay. Like Aarakocra.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, any other business?
more money.
That's their money, definitely.
Tell them EJ owes you a lifetime.
That'd be very funny.
That man that was in here before us.
The droid looks as if to say, don't worry, you actually have other business. So the droid looks a bit, like, it started as a droid can look. And I was like, what, man?
I believe his name is EJ.
You hear, like, the most disgusting, like, tut ever, like, disgusting guffaw from Niska. And then he spits into his, like, kind of, like, bowl next to him. Ding.
What is to happen to him?
Niska says a few words in a very low tone to the droid. And the droid goes, "The logical and cunning Niska, the mastermind, says this is none of your concern."
Can it charm?
Yeah, sure, like, go for it. Like, remember, social combat is a thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Social
attempt to
combat.
charm.
And, I mean, he does
Dun,
have
dun,
12
dun,
Twilight
dun.
girls here.
Dun, dun, dun.
What's another two to his collection? Or three? We do have Smith, Jones and Brown in this very room.
1.5.
Yeah, I'll go with
3 quarters.
I'll go with charm.
Right, tell me what you're going to say to him. Are you going to go for the droid or Niska?
We're gonna go with Nishka.
Nishka.
Niska.
Nishka. Nishka.
For anybody that didn't get the reference, Adelai Niska's from Firefly. He's the Russian like
Is it-
space
is
gangster
the-
guy.
is
He's like
the-
the
Ah,
he's
no,
the first
no.
like heavy.
Attended Niska part.
Didn't
But I didn't get the Adelai.
Adelai's his first name. And that's why I thought the ship name could be Adelai, because I like it. It's a really cool name.
Nice.
And I want a space gangster, so.
At least he's not as bad as Niska.
So far.
Is he? He's got 12 slaves.
You people are really dark.
12 visible slaves.
They're disciplined slaves.
Just
Discipline.
curious.
So, you want to just be like, you're just curious, but like, that wouldn't necessarily get a response.
I know.
Make it into like a question, because I'm just curious as a statement.
Yeah.
Turn that into a question, you can totally roll charm on it. I mean, if Thalio's here, maybe she'd be like, what does a girl have to do to get the answer? I mean, I'm just thinking that's what Thalio would say.
You can't even say
Hold
that.
on.
You should just start
So-
like moving like that.
What was it you said when you were role playing Thalia a moment ago?
I'll just get the boobs up.
You have no comedic presence at all. You should have said "Boops" again like you did last time.
So,
Oh, what have I got to work with?
what have you got, Gib?
Alright.
Shake your money makers.
Even she was alright.
I mean, you're lucky, of course.
I don't put all my comedy presents. Just half.
I saw him a minute ago, but I
Natural.
got distracted.
Natural comedy.
Yeah, that was
Guys, he's been distracted. Help him out.
Right, so you need to charm the sexy, the logical and cunning and masterful
That's what I was gonna do.
Niska.
I was gonna refer to him as logical and cunning.
Just show me your legs.
And masterful.
The logical and cunning Nishka can perhaps see an advantage in the discussion of a topic instead of silence.
Oh, no you did!
I wonder how close to negotiation that is instead of charm.
Depends, because it's got the flattery bit.
I know, right? Do you want to end that sentence slightly differently? Make it less confrontational. And it's totally a charm. If, with that level of confrontation, I'd say it's negotiation, because you're basically, you're balancing out the compliment with the demand.
Well,
If it was just a demand, it'd be coercion.
Gib, what are you
Maybe you want to finish it with like, please, oh mastermind.
what are you hoping to gain from charming him?
Yeah, that's the better question.
To know whether EJ is going to be put to death or imprisoned or
Do you want to just remember what EJ was up for with the Empire?
yeah.
Right?
Is your best just calling him the logical and cunning and basically being like, I know him, we we've travelled together before, and I'm curious as to what would happen to him, and if there's something I can do to avoid it or whatever you're aiming for.
Do you also remember that you rolled about Niska? I don't know if it was you specifically, but you guys rolled about him last time you were all together, and you got a bunch of information about Niska. Within that bubble, there was information, but I don't just want to repeat it, if that makes sense. But things were said in that might be related to this.
Oh, Craig's book would have been so helpful.
I know, right? Craig with his notes.
Wait, I have notes.
Part of the week been working.
They say Star Wars.
So, how do you want to, like, what is it you'd like to get out of it then? Like, you tell me what you want to know, and I'll see if I can.
So I mean, I want to know if Nico is going to kill him.
Cool. And you want to just say that by flattery, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Right, do you want to roll then? Let's see what we've got for you. What are you rolling? What is your dice? You tell me your dice.
It is 2 green, 1 yellow.
Didn't do that.
Right, 2 green, 1 yellow. I'm giving you a boost because you're a Twi'lek.
Okay.
Twi'leks have their advantages.
They're sexy ways. They are different Garyos.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
That was pretty terrible.
It was.
Those are lots of blank dice.
What did you roll?
He's got 3 failures and 2 advantages.
Alright.
Yeah. So the droid, you don't even see the droid translate, like your question.
Maybe
The
you
droid
should
goes,
start rolling for yourself.
Oh, and you can push the button. I just it's digital. Right.
Sometimes.
Oh, so it's not always my favour that you don't get these one.
I know, but fate is a real mystery.
Keep in mind, you have a destiny pill we've not rolled yet. That exists, by the way. As soon as you need to use it, let me know. We'll roll it. Let's just do it now. Let's do that now.
I have my own dice. I'll roll for myself.
I'm just going to roll the whole pool here.
No.
No.
Okay, that's fine. You can roll it. You can roll it.
Did you roll bad?
No, I rolled great, but it's unfair if I roll it and you want to roll it.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant bullshit.
Unfair.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, one more. This app does not like my cold fingers. Okay. Rolling. Oh, that's okay. 4 light, 3 dark.
What? That's
so
a
bad.
ridiculous amount of numbers considering it's only 4.
Yeah, only one single was rolled.
Yeah. 2 double.
That's some good maths there.
2 double white, 1 dark double, 1 dark single. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think I rolled the destiny roll at the start of the session. I seem to be better at it. But I just want you to know that exists, just so you know. Even if we don't do it, it will always be there for you guys to use. So, the droid turns back to you and goes, "That business is personal to the logical and cunning mastermind, Niska."
Quickly just getting $50,000.
And you'd be like, what are dollars?
Space dollars.
So, yeah. If there is no more business,
If you don't want his debt paid off, then fine.
you hear Niska, like the droid looks at Niska and then goes to speak, and then Niska's hand goes up, and you hear, "His debt cannot be paid off." And you hear that in basic.
Just didn't plan.
Wait, Niska speaks basic?
Yeah.
He's a sexy heart. I like this Niska.
It's a very deeper foreboding. I was going to do Russian, but everyone's Russian, so I need to stop that. Not everybody is Russian.
It's a pretty Soviet galaxy.
It's my best accent. A debt like his cannot be paid off.
We are like his. Yes.
Kirov reported.
But.
And then he's like, he just does that with his hand, and the guards move, and you guys are escorted out. And then Brown, as she's walking off, like as the kind of groups are kind of parting off, she's like, "Nice going," and like kind of shoulders past you. Or nice going, because we agreed she was Russian. Like, you know, in her disgruntled one.
Yeah.
And then Graham's like, "Hey, if you ever need a crew again, let us know." As as he like backs off and like kind of runs after her. Lily just walks up and just hugs you. Or you're covered in crumbs. And then just like kind of like picks you up a bit and you get dropped and clank.
Now's the time to take them out.
And then Lily
Except
goes and hugs
Lily.
everyone basically. And it's
Except
like yes. And then wanders off.
Tell Lily
Yeah.
to join a different crew. She's too lovely. Lovely Lily.
I do like Lily. Lily's one of my favourite pieces.
Lily
One of.
Crumbs. That's her name. Lily Crumbs.
I mean, it doesn't have a last name.
Yeah, she
Is
does.
Lily
Crumbs.
even her actual name, or is this just something that Cyanide made up?
See when you learn Wookiee, you can ask her.
That's the next thing I'm spending
Yeah.
XP on, just learning Wookiee.
I was tempted to put in goals for each, like every of these characters, like if you want to have like small personal goals, because it's what a different RP system does, where you achieve them and get XP for achieving it. It drives your characters individually, but it does separate the leveling.
A
And
lot of darkness has that.
I wasn't too keen on it. Yeah, it's loads of systems have it, but like we did it in Stars with that number, and I just find it stagnates players in like creative stasis.
So it makes you want to go towards that.
Yeah, so I don't think it works for this system, but if you want to do stuff in the game, you can earn experience for everyone.
Yeah, spaceship.
So
Spaceship! Spaceship!
I'll reward stuff like that.
What's the spaceship?
Right. Yous are pretty much told, right, go find transport. Like, you know, pretty much any hangar bay has people that will take your money. But whether they'll go to where you want to go is up to you. Or you could maybe go and follow where they took EG.
I do want to do that, but I feel these guys should have to go. It's
Yeah,
only an hour before 10.
I know, but I have 3 minutes of you potentially following EG. I would, personally for me, I'd rather get you on the spaceship before I jump to them. But it's up to you. What do you guys think? Jump to you guys, or let him go chase EJ?
If he wants to chase EJ, I'm fine with that.
I'm probably.
Also, you can all jump in and help out anyway.
That's
Like,
not 'cause I
you
want
can
to
all
go.
be like, his support anyway.
Well, Force Ghosts, woo! Not her.
I
She
get
feels
the feeling
too strong.
breaking EG out will piss off these guys.
Probably.
His name's Nico. We're going to piss him off.
But
anyway.
EJ did say you only need 50,000 credits.
Tell Thalia then. Thalia can go first.
Well, last time he told us he only needed something, it was like, oh, thermal detonator and like C4.
Yeah, but given your experience of EJ, do you think if he had that, he could have got out?
Probably.
So, I mean, if he had 50,000 credits, maybe he could get out of this particular problem. But you could, like, remember when Thalia asked you, what did he whisper? You just went, "Oh, see you later," is what he whispered. So you might want to tell her that. Cyanide with you guys, by the way. There are plot reasons, but Cyanide was not part of the Tool of the Bamba. So it's kind of standing there
With a pile of money.
with 35k.
Yeah.
In her leg shit.
It's just like as the walks, clunk, 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 because one shoe's heavier.
Yeah, follow you.
Yeah, so you follow down that direction. Are you like Thalia probably says, so we're going after EJ? Because you maybe want to explain your plan to them. Because you do have NPCs following you.
Yeah, I think he needs us.
I thought you said they'd see us later.
Yeah, he won't see us later if he's dead. Let's go.
Oh. Should probably probe more, but I think we should do that on the way.
Yeah.
So like as you kind of like follow down corridors and stuff, like he was pretty much taking around a corridor that is now just like one straight corridor, for the reasons of corridors being problematic. And you head down, and like the signs and everything just read like the engine room. So you're heading basically towards like the engineering decks, essentially. As you are going though, Cyanide like person goes, "Who is this EJ fellow? He seems familiar." Oh dear, oh my. Emma.
Beep boop.
Clank.
He.
Clank. Along with clank, 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 clank. That's both of you.
The clank, the
Clank,
clank.
clank, clank.
We crashed on Tatooine with him. We escaped together.
Ah, he's your friend.
Yes,
Excellent. Is he also part of your crew?
you can say that. He's a.
I
casual
will say
member.
that. He is part of your crew. I figure that's exactly what Emma would say. Dahlia's like, so what kind of trouble was he in? You said you might die?
Nishka wasn't for telling me, but
Yeah, I noticed.
I've
Did you
got
see
a
how hot
feeling it's not
like
good.
dancers were though?
Oh.
Hey, I'm trying to be Thalia, right? She's got a sex addiction. So,
She's the Todd.
are you going to let Thalia know at any point that EJ was like, if you get me 50k, I'm good?
Quickly ask sign in for it. She gladly gives away money.
Cyanide probably would not, given that she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know me.
Yeah, but you had a reason for it. You're going to buy EJ a hat.
Don't we mistreat all droids in Star Wars? Is that not like a thing?
Depends on your personality.
Does it?
But no, but a lot of people just treat them as furniture, yeah. So that they're objects, they're not people. So a lot of people.
Do you want to say here?
But you probably wouldn't talk to Cyanide as much, given that you said you disliked droids and don't really want to converse with them. So it's probably Thalia that you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Given your Twi'lek sisterhood you have made.
Like sister.
Well, they have the same pants that they wear.
Was this a thing?
No. So
Did he
A
go?
rather niche joke.
Yeah.
but you got it.
Yeah.
So there
I
we
think
go.
that joke fell amongst the cracks.
Oh my.
Referencing a 15-year-old
So bad.
book
Alright.
It's so
and
bad.
terrible movie adaptation.
Don't
of
look
the
at yourself
book.
in the
Right,
mirror.
come on, stop banging yourself time. What are you saying?
I never buy myself time, I can't think.
That counts.
It's fine. Like, this is okay. This will help teach you to think. So, are you going to tell Thalia what EJ said? Yea or nay? That's on
Yes.
Serendipity. Right, cool. So what did you say to her?
Pretend I'm sexy
He
Thalia.
said he needs money.
Of course he needs money. It's EJ. I
He
worked
says
that
he
out.
needs money to get out of this.
But Niska said no amount of credits could get him out of the problem.
Maybe he's not giving it to Nishka. Maybe he's buying his way out. Maybe he's bribing a guard. Maybe he's doing something, buying a ship. Nishka might not let him go. That doesn't mean
How
everyone on
much
the
do
ship
they
won't
need?
let him go. Half our money, all three of us.
So 50k. I'll give 25 to that. Like, she's happy to do that. She's like, I'll give him 25k. Like, if it means he doesn't die.
We can discuss the money later. We need to find him first.
Tell her what he offered us.
What would you?
No.
Cool.
We're
To be
just
fair though,
gonna
like
get him out.
I think Emma doesn't know him, and Craig doesn't want people to die, and also slept with EJ. So I feel I'm well within my rights to offer like half the money. She's like, I'll pay half of it. Fine, no bother. Because then he won't die.
One of us.
So,
One of
okay.
us.
No.
But she lets you know that anyway, right? As you all run down
No.
the corridor.
No.
You see the Transrodan, like as you're heading down, the two Transrodan guards are like, I say guards, they're people that basically found him and claimed him. They're walking down the other corridor, like away. So it's reasonable to assume that maybe he's down where they came from. You can confront them if you want, or you can just wait till they pass. Like,
Yeah, just wait till they pass.
cool. They head off down the corridor, like growling at each other.
How do they grow?
A bit like a Tyrannosaurus Rex would. And you get around the corner, and there's a locked door.
The recording's not picking up the amazing
Like the
facial
reactions.
expressions here.
But yeah, there is a door panel, and Cyanide pushes the button, and the door opens.
Way!
You draw them out again. Something about us RPing just makes me want to give you doors. I don't know what it is.
Well, remember the last time I was given a door? It was open for a while before I decided to actually try and open the door.
In a different RP, he was stuck outside a wooden door. Then Michael,
Because we attacked it, didn't do it.
but Michael didn't want to use magic because he thought it was a magic door. It wasn't. But as established, magic wouldn't work. Like this was not a magical door. It was not magical in any way. That to Michael translated as magic won't work on it.
It's a magical door.
But I can see how that would have came across. It's just wrong. So he just didn't use his magic that was like so powerful it could have taken the door off the
Yeah,
hinges.
it would have ripped it to shreds.
Meanwhile, back in Star Wars.
Yep.
So he gets his door. And it's open.
Is
I,
EG inside?
I guess you said in.
Yep.
to say singing, but it's almost like a kind of like almost like somebody come save me kind of like chant.
Is it
kind of
his
melody.
sad song?
No, it's not a sad song. It's kind of like
Is it?
trying to keep up like the optimism kind of.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna come rescue EJ. EJ is wonderful. So it's kind of like that. So there is a reasonable assumption that EJ might be in this room. But it's loads of like pipe work and everything. It's basically he's just been put in a room that he's been locked up in.
Okay.
Out of the way of quite a lot of different areas of the ship though, it's kind of almost like the two Transhudan didn't want to put him in with like all the other prisoners. You can take from that what you will. But yeah, it sounds like he's a special interest prisoner, I might say. Do you go in eyesight because you can hear him, but do you like go around the corners and everything to go and see him, or what do you do? You're pretty much like in charge. They are both going to keep a lookout outside.
Okay. I'm gonna have a look round to see if I can see him without being noticed by him, or if there's anyone else in the room.
But his head's kind of hung down as he's kind of singing and swaying and like rocking against like restraints. So he's kind of like pulling and that kind of I'm singing clank, like trying to cover the noises of him struggling with the singing, and just kind of generally being obnoxious.
I like how that's your favourite sound. Clank.
Clank.
Is there anyone in the room?
Doesn't look like it. EG. But yeah, and then you.
Yeah.
It's not that big a room. Like it's maybe the size of like this, like the room we're in currently, which obviously doesn't help anyone listening to the recording. But fuck them. They should have turned up.
Screw those guys.
You snooze, you lose.
Yep. But to all my fans, apologies in advance. My non-existent fans.
You snooze, you lose.
Yeah, like you. Last time.
Oh.
So yeah,
Oh. God damn it.
what's the plan?
Got all of us.
Are you just gonna go round or?
You will lie down though to sleep,
Yeah.
but you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Madame Jhones!
Take my gems.
You didn't stop me.
You came back for me.
And this will be
Wouldn't
the
fit
last
Joe on
time.
it often.
The last time? The last time? This will be the only time you need to come back for me. I'll come back for you next time. About
50k.
yes, 50k.
What does that buy me?
Me with a big smile on his face. I can see you're not convinced. It gets us away. He kind of motions with his locked hand, like away to a wall.
Can you break his restraint? Just don't pay him. Just take him. He's ours now. Just take him. You're mine.
Like the cuffs aren't like you pay to open them. That's not how they work. But yeah, forget
Have you seen the
what
rest
does
of the ship?
serendipity do?
How is he restrained? Above his head?
No, like as if he's on like pipe work and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just handcuffed.
So
to
set
pipes.
handcuffs going around a pipe above his head, maybe?
No, like handcuffs that way. So as
Two
like
separate
a,
handcuffs.
so like a Y shape. He is in a Y shape for people that can't see what I'm doing with my body. He's
He's
like this,
Jesus.
like
Yeah,
this,
he's crucified.
and
With two
binders-
separate sets of
binders-
handcuffs.
two separate sets of
Jesus,
binders.
I said that.
Yes.
Jesus.
Binders are electronic in nature?
Technical stuff.
Okay, like mechanical.
They're just clips, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Let's just say the Transhudan don't necessarily have the best of gear.
So it would have been great for lightsaber to cut.
So you could broke out that captain's office, man. You got those lightsaber heels.
No!
we'll cut you with them.
And that 1 million credit painting that was hanging on the wall.
Slowly just floating. in, like the opening to space. It was actually EG on his side. We're in the heart of the ocean.
It's just, his chest hair is just the shape of a love heart.
Also, the Emancipation Proclamation of the galaxy, setting all races free.
But anyway, back in the piped room with beautiful EJ.
EJ.
With his love heart chest.
Right. Attempt to break the shackles.
Cool.
Somewhere.
Do you want to roll brawn?
Yeah. Gonna put on my brass knuckles and punch the weak point.
Yeah, sure.
Punching through some handcuffs.
Right, what am I rolling for
Who
you?
do you think it is? Me?
It is 2 yellow.
The yellow, yeah.
2 yellow.
2 successes.
The left hand.
Huzzahs!
Yeah, you can just write
Both
both
of
if
them.
you want. Yeah, I got it. Mine bird both with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a success each, I guess.
Boom, boom.
Like freeing him does not have a fun failure.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah. I just keep punching it until
Like
it
you just punch.
eventually
Ow!
opens.
Ow! 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 My wrist is very limp. Normally, I am much more satisfied after that result.
At some point,
That would have happened had he failed.
Yeah. At some point, the bones in his hands would just be so liquidy that they just slide through.
But no, like you break both. Like, I don't know, maybe you just like brawn pull them both off.
You robo legs.
And like as you pull them off, he kind of just like flops into it and hugs you. You're
Maybe
like,
Thalia pulled
"Oh,
him off.
Madame Jhones! And he just hugs you tight.
Alright, let's get
And
out of
then
here
pats you
before
down.
they
He's
come
like,
back.
did you bring any weapons? That's
That
your
chick
weapons
was
on you.
weapons.
Yeah. He's like, oh my god.
Exact same thing.
So he like pats you down, like feels like, I am so glad you're around. Me too.
Does he have the old gun I gave him?
And he pulls out his guns. They don't look exactly like the guns he had before, which were his fancy custom guns, but these do look like they are similarly customized. You will notice this from your ability to jury things, but they're smaller.
Okay.
If you hold it out on it.
I might say they're both hold out blasters.
Yeah.
The only time to do that.
That's
He's like, now, where did my friends go? They captured them. The people that captured him.
Alright.
basically.
I didn't know if he was related to the Battle of Ambacre.
Oh no, like, not at all.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
Why would you even know that?
Because he's a bobber.
He's done nothing but help. So,
To be fair, we ditched him.
yeah.
Successfully. No, got him back.
It's a pop. It's useless.
So,
He's so useless.
anyone listening, we're Scottish.
So, good.
Alright, let's get out of here then.
He asks, did you see where his friends went?
Down the corridor. No, I didn't follow them.
Good.
They're away.
I love that we had Gibber response that one. I don't
Probably.
know.
He's like, which docking bay did you just come in? Just name it, it doesn't matter.
So,
7? Oh! So you know your way back to 7.
from here, not if we don't go via initiative room.
Actually, that's a point. We could cut through this room. That would be much quicker. Well, I want to go to docking bay 14. And that's at the other side of the room by about 50 feet. That may or may not be a lie. I can't judge space.
If only he had a hat to hide his face.
I know, right?
You went there.
Basically, he says the
You went there.
user on the use came in the port side perhaps, and on the starboard
Yes.
side is the exact opposite docking bay. It's like if you can navigate the opposite corners, like the corridors,
It's not just calling them names. You're fucking
I will get us out of here. Do you have the 50k items?
Yes.
Thalia hands him 25k on her credit stick instantly. And she's like, kisses her hand, and is like, you are my beautiful, beautiful albino gem. And he goes to like tip his hat to her and then gets sad. I need to get myself a new hat. I hope Hats and Huts is still open. So,
Safe cyanine. Can you contribute?
contribute to this man's escape and potentially anger Niska the Hut.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh dear. Will this buy me my position within your crew?
Yeah.
I have your word on that as captain.
I need 10,000 credits, and you're in the crew.
Present her shoe and brings out her credit stick with that. And so that's 35k he's have now.
And I will contribute the other.
The 15k, yeah. So he's handed it all to EG and he's like, you beautiful, beautiful people. Android. So,
This is gonna be a raccoon thing. It's like, I didn't need that.
no.
I didn't need the robot leg.
No. What, you like the shield codes it has?
Yeah.
No. Right, so he's like,
Like, what,
okay, so he
with
puts it
a
like in
whole
his
bunch of
pocket,
It's
and he's got his guns.
I'm not going to do that.
Guys, just in case the recording gets
Yeah,
confused.
sorry.
So, I'm trying to wrap this up relatively quickly so we can try and get on to you guys. I'm trying to split it as best I can, but I know we're running out of time. We just have to kill you quickly, as I said. So, with that, EJ then heads down the corridor after you, because obviously you're the one going to counter-navigate the other side of the ship for him.
Yep.
But he does say the journey will be half the length of time if you cut through, you know,
No,
the audience room.
we're not going anywhere near him. He hates you.
Did he say why? He
No.
hates me.
No, he wouldn't.
Isn't life full
It
of
was
small miracles?
personal.
What was that?
He said it was personal.
He'd call it personal. I would call it bad luck. And he gives you a big smile. Like, but the luck is us meeting again. And then obviously motions towards her. And lead on to our freedom. In his very big dramatic gesture.
Yep, I will lead on to her read.
Excellent, cool. You can make it. I mean, if you want to fight stuff, you can fight stuff, but I think you're welcome to just make it back to Docking Bay 14. Cool. You get there, and there is a couple of guards posted there. Again, weak-way guards. And EG walks up, and they both like pull their pistol, and one pulls like a sword out, like a big kind of vibro sword thing that he's got, and pulls his pistol out in the other hand. And it's like, aren't you like meant to be dead? Like, I thought you were going to be killed. And Yuji's walking up like, my friends, nobody wants to kill me. Who knows what they'd miss out upon? Think of the adventure. And walks out and puts his hands like, wait a minute, because he's not got his guns out at this point, he's put them away. And he pulls out the cred sticks and they're like, how about we have 50,000 moments of your time? And then hands them the credits. And then the both of them kind of look at each other and go, we'll give you 5 seconds. And then they go, 1, 2, and then EG runs inside. Do you all follow?
Yes.
You hear clank, clank, clank as they all bolt away as well. Upon that as well, you make it in, and you see his ship, and he's like, oh, it's still here, wonderful.
And it's all shiny and new, and look, it's got a new paint job and sparkles.
And we'll record. Welcome. Hi.
Hi.
So we're trying to wrap up stuff as well for him. I'll catch you later, like relatively soon.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Good. What was the word I was looking for? Yeah, so he runs up to his ship, like basically runs up and just hugs the thing. He's like, oh my beautiful, beautiful ship, I never thought I would see you again. It's a fire spray, if anybody cares about that, because I love fire sprays and EG was getting one. And on the side of it, it says the Morrow, and that's his ship. He's like, we have about 2 seconds to get on board. Let us go, because they're going to go get Nico. The ramp comes down, and then like they head up. Do you all pile on?
Yeah.
You're greeted by a droid, and he's like, welcome back, Master EJ. I see we have guests. Shall I prepare the cells? And he's like, no. Prepare the nice cells. And he goes, excellent. And then it shows you where you can basically sit and strap it and stuff. And then this ship guns it the hell away. Yeah, you can't really see much from where you are. There's only really one window in this ship. But you hear like a thrum, and it jumps, and that's done. Any dialogue and conversation we'll come back to, so you can think on that. But you'll probably need to give EJ a destination that isn't just a way. Right, that took a bit longer than I wanted, that's fine. He's on the road to Rishi.
On the road.
Unless he just decides, fuck you guys, and just tells you to go somewhere else.
Some money.
Yeah, like I said, Ren approached Serendipity before you parted ways, because they basically came up and said, I think it was actually Luminae Penn that came up and was like to the captain, like, I can't do the job anymore, and was going to go away, and then Ren like convinced her to go with safer. And so the three of them went, we need to go with this guy. Let's meet up though, and let's plot reason the party together again, and we'll discuss that. But I'll let you guys talk about that like when you want to. But we'll do that after we've dealt with that. We'll just cut back to that conversation. Don't worry. The timelines are weird. Right. So you remember that you were all heading into the temple, right? So you'll get to the temple. You're kind of in the temple already, right? You head in, and it's kind of like very atmospheric, in the sense that you walk in. The corridors are very dark, and there's a very low red glow everywhere. That's the only kind of lighting that you can really see in here. Well, you know it's not. But yeah, you can take from that what you want.
Hipster dark Jedi.
But as you walk in, you go downstairs as you went, like kind of down. It's only really seems to be one big long corridor, and you head in. As I said, I believe you all went to find Safer Zoe. It's the reason why he came here, and he was, in the temple. But yeah, you head in first, and you just see red. And as I said, it's dark corridors, and there's not that much light. Enough to still navigate without like going, oh, that's a wall, But that's it. I'm assuming you're going to just keep going straight ahead.
Yeah.
Into the thing. Who was next? I believe it was.
That was me, but she ran to catch
I
up with me.
was chasing after him. But yeah.
Cool. After maybe about, for you guys, like what, 5 minutes, if that, maybe 5-10 minutes. You enter the temple. You see the darkness and everything, and the red lighting, and you see that the temple goes down into the ground as well. So you can follow suit.
I can see that was me.
Oh my god, the darkness.
And the same, obviously, when you finally catch up and go in, but maybe that's 5 minutes later or something, or maybe it's not that far behind or whatever. But like, how far behind did you want to be?
You caught with me.
Yeah, I caught up. He was still shouting at me, so I was still in earshot.
Yeah, sure. Did you stop for it though? Because I think I asked you that and you said no.
I think
No,
it
I
was
didn't
a couple
stop,
of
but
minutes
she
behind.
ran to catch up.
Right.
Because I was just walking, and she ran.
Sure. Cool. Well, in that case, then you both enter the temple together.
Okay.
So you both enter the temple together, and as I said, the only thing you see is the dark corridors and the red lighting as you kind of go through. Beyond that, I guess you just keep going into the temple.
Yeah.
Are you looking for anything in particular besides Safer Zoe?
I'm not good. I don't know what to look for.
Yeah, but you're just looking for him basically.
Yeah.
Or you're looking for him as well. Like you're looking
Well,
for
that's
An Daar, I guess as well.
Yeah.
Let me just Ren, you see An Daar just turn a corner at the very end. Okay. You're still walking and you still don't really see anything. But you're gonna. It is a straight path to you, but if you look back, you can see that you have turned corners and you have like it's not straight corridors. But walking forward, it has been straight. That's just I want to give you all that. Yeah. Ren, as you see An Daar in the distance, what do you do?
I shout, Annie!
There, you don't hear.
Nah, that's probably.
I go towards.
Catch up.
I walk after her.
Cool. Are you gonna like to walk after? You probably need to run to catch up. That's the only thing.
I'm just going to follow him. I'm not going to run.
So you're having to run.
Yeah,
Cool.
just follow him.
Um,
As far as my character's concerned, there's no reason to run. Just walk after him.
Luminae, you hear people behind you.
Okay.
Like you hear like whispering, and it feels like it's about you. And you hear like voices and stuff, but that's coming from behind you. And you are still walking currently in this dark kind of maze. So,
I'd stop and look round and just try and see if I could sense where the people were.
yeah, do you want to use?
Yeah.
Sense,
use
yeah.
sense.
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yeah, please. It's one dice, and I think I only need 1 point to. I'll double check. But I think it's just 1 point to do sense of anything.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
What happened last time?
You have 2 light and 5 dark.
It needs to be 1 white, I think. No, it can be either. But no, I'll just use the 2 white.
Cool. to best put this? Have you when you're trying to try like food, and there are so many different flavors mixed that you can't pick out one. Imagine that for the feelings that come to you, right? So there's so many feelings merged as one. It's hard to pick out if one's happiness or sadness. It's hard to pick out if it's anger, hate, or if it's joy. You don't know if maybe the anger is causing joy. You're getting a lot. Basically, every emotion is coming to you. Every emotion. It's also quite painful to the point where you're going to take strain.
Okay.
So you take a strain point. I do have whiteboards.
I'll just write it down.
Yeah, okay.
Could I be, like, as I'm going after him, I want to be keeping an eye on her?
Oh, you can't see her.
Oh, she's gone?
Yeah. If you turn to look for her, she's not there.
You were
Have you
rubbish.
turned a corner?
You were rubbish, Penn. You couldn't even stay behind me.
You're the one who left.
I didn't leave, you didn't come. There's a difference.
But yeah, so that's what that is. You see An Daar just leave, like, he's too far down the corridor to see now, so he kind of goes out of your visual range.
Right, I would stop and look for
Yeah.
Penn,
You can't see her at all.
and I'm just like, sit, Penn. I decide to go back.
Okay.
Because I feel that I'm already like, right, this place is crazy place. I'll go back. I'll head back, I'll get a base point, and I'll work out. Because Annie can't hear me. You should be able to hear me. And now Penn is gone, and she feels the dark. So I'm going to go back to the person who could possibly be a bit panicky.
You head back maybe 5 minutes. So you head back with what you think is the same amount of time you spent in here. You can't find her. You're just walking down a black corridor.
Oh god.
I like the ominous
Can I
red light.
fire down the corridor?
Do you want to fire your blaster?
Yeah.
You don't have it.
Where the,
Like you go to reach for it, and you're not. There's no holster at all on it.
okay, as long as there's fancy magic going on, I
There's
was
no
like,
holster at all.
I had it. I had it.
It's not my fault.
Okay. Then I want. There's something I want to do here. Double check.
Do you want to come back to them? While you work
Yeah,
on
if you
it?
just come back.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want to do.
Cool. What do you want to do with that information on your sense? Because I'd say it's quite overwhelming
Yeah.
to the point where it's kind of like if there's a lot of people arguing in a room and you have like a soundproof door and you open it and it's just a rabble and it's that overpowering that you
And it from like all directions. It's
just
not like,
in.
yeah,
It's
so
just
it's not
coming
like-
towards you.
yeah.
There's no like you can't pinpoint it anywhere. Like
so
whereas
it's not like I could turn the opposite direction.
correct. You could like I mean it kind of comes from everywhere. It's like it is around you. But it's not like it's stronger one way or the other. Remember, like when you were outside, it was really hard to like when you focused on one area, it would move. It's not like that here. It's just everywhere. But again, it's the same as obviously like that rabble of noise. I don't know obviously how you want to like perceive your skill at the sensing, but if you think about someone who's good at hearing, they could probably listen to specific parts of it with skill, but that's obviously another level of interaction.
Yeah.
But it's up to you if you want to keep that open
I think
or close it.
she kind of look around and see if she could like physically pinpoint it, and when she can't, maybe try again with the sense, even though it hurts, to just figure out what's going on.
Sure. Do you want to roll again?
Yeah.
You can roll that. Again, 2 light points and 5 dark.
Oh, at least 2 light points.
Actually, I'm thinking like it makes sense to use the 2 light points, but she's also getting quite scared, so probably would tap into just try and use as much power. Well, not as much power, not 5 dark points, but maybe 1.
So you're going to use dark point then?
Yeah.
You'll need to flip over a destiny point.
Who's got?
I'm tracking it, don't worry. So you flip over one of them. Yep. So
I am.
3 and 4.
Did you do a lecture now in the back of the heat?
And take a conflict and a strain
Okay.
and another strain and a constant.
Let's
Never.
up it to
Yeah.
A blankety blank.
Right. So And what is it you're trying to do this time? Just
Pinpoint.
again, like is there like are you trying to pinpoint a specific emotion or are you trying to pinpoint a specific area?
It's just kind of a rabble of stuff about her, isn't it? that
Like
she-
literally, imagine you walk into a really loud party,
Yeah.
like a really loud party.
I think a direction of the most clear.
Okay, so
feeling.
you're almost trying to pinpoint like the clearest emotion.
Yeah.
Okay. The clearest emotion is a sense of pride, I guess, like achievement, maybe. But again, that kind of comes with like a comfort and a joy and an arrogance as well as a combination to this. But that's what you feel, and it comes from back the way you were originally looking. Because remember you turned back
Yeah.
when you heard voices. It comes from behind you, where you were originally walking.
Yeah. I think she'd probably like. Right, decided to put the words out of the way.
Oh, if you want to have a think about that,
I'll
I'll
have
come
a
back. Yeah, you have a think about that. I'll go to An Daar. You see Ren down the corridor,
Okay.
and
Front of me.
down the corridor, yeah.
Okay. That's weird.
And
What's in front of you? That's got with you.
but you also see yourself taking Ren, picking him up, and running in like a halo of blaster fire. You may be younger.
Young Dar.
This may or may not be what happened when you were escaping the purge. So you see this kind of play out, just like snapshots of like whenever like your adrenaline would have been kicking in, you're like, oh my god, there's Ren, I'll take him, and oh my god, like there's blaster fire here, and it's like snapshots of like montages your basic like your way out. With that, only this time Ren gets shot as you're carrying him, and it's basically got like as you're carrying Ren over like your shoulder or whatever, as you're kind of bolting towards like the kind of like the ship area, like the kind of docking bay of the temple. Ren gets hit by a stray blaster bolt and like falls to the ground. What are you? You notice now you're no longer watching and you are there.
I was going to say, has he now became?
Oh my god.
Is he?
Ren shot.
Ren
Ow!
shot and is on the ground.
Um,
Like he's been shot with a blaster.
I would probably get really super special angry.
Right.
Probably pull a little kid in like the Thug movie and just go attack them.
No, like there's no one else nearby, it's just you two.
Oh, it's just us two.
I'm lying
Is
there
the
going,
blaster
I'm the
fun?
mama Magella.
It's just you two. As I said, you're not really sure. Like your vision doesn't really go as far to see where the blaster shot came from. You just see Ren on the ground.
This is where you find out he just still tries to make me fly the spaceship anyway.
You can't fly the spaceship, kid. You gotta.
I'll let you think about it if you want. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I would probably just check to see the wind and try and help him.
As you go to touch him, it's cold.
Cold. But check.
You look at him again, and it's just a skeleton you're looking at.
Oh god damn it.
You didn't move back quick enough.
Yeah, I didn't move quick enough. That was a pretty slow movement.
I'm dead.
You then
I'd probably start panicking.
you see yourself turn round, igniting your training saber, and obviously in your anger running, you start to run, and then again like it flashes and you're watching it again, and then that kind of fades away into like the kind of misty kind of like visuals, and then you see yourself in another kind of window, and you're looking at it, and you see yourself like you've got like your skin's a lot paler than it used to be, like it's really quite faded amber, to the point where it kind of looks like maybe you're quite old now, like quite severely old. Your eyes have a slight yellowy tint to them, one might say, and you see a bunch of people, like kind of robed figures, come up behind you, and you look up, and that's when you notice the yellow eyes as you're looking into the camera of what you're watching, and then you ignite your lightsaber, and it's just this red blade that comes up. And you turn around in a sweep as like you kind of bare your teeth to them, your sharp kind of zebra teeth, and then it fades out again. And I need you to make a fear check for me.
Okay. What would it be?
It's a discipline or cool.
Okay, that would be
Discipline.
discipline for sure, and 2 yellows, 2 greens.
2 yellow, 2 green. Give me a second.
I'm disciplined.
Should be.
What did you say, Jizo? Was that me?
Yeah, what do you think that's it?
I didn't know. I didn't hear.
You get a success and an advantage on that. Do you want to even see what the dice roll was, by the way?
That sounds oh my god.
Yeah, you did well.
Yeah, that's
So tell me how An Daar reacts to that. Like, what do you think An Daar has seen?
Well,
You tell me what that meant to An Daar.
I'm pretty sure that I would have realised that if I didn't save Ren, it's a good chance I would have probably started going down a pretty dark path. A pretty bad path.
Right.
Don't you got all this all on me?
Well, Dar, you saved us. Saved us. Just like I saved you. We saved each other, man. We saved each other.
Just to point out, actually, when I saved us, I totally crashed that spaceship.
Yeah, you did.
If that's the backstory, we escaped and I crashed the spaceship.
He doesn't like
Maybe he's been
it.
promising like a ship this entire time he's been doing it. I'll get you a spaceship, I promised. When he's a kid, always promising to get a spaceship for
So
you.
yeah, I think I would be like pretty much. I think I would understand what was going on in front of us. How I would react to it.
Like, what does that mean to you? Yeah, because I mean, you've just had like this kind of overwhelming surge of emotion to be like, oh, what if this had happened? That's what I would have become, maybe.
Yeah.
But you've also like you've succeeded in a project, so you don't feel fear from this, or you whatever you felt you've overcame fear-wise, and you also have an advantage to spend, by the way.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you want from that. But
I would.
Maybe it'd be something like you start to feel like you made the right choice. Like it's something you've never been sure of too much.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be happy with the fact that I never became a Dark Jedi. That's for sure. And, but I was pretty much
I know he had a
happy with the
lightsaber,
fact that
I noticed that he
anyway.
had a saber,
Yeah.
and he just looks like he almost took out like a multiple hooded peeps.
Jawas.
Cool Jawas. I wouldn't do that even as a Dark Jedi. I love Jawas. My character loves Jawas.
I hate sand.
I love Jawas.
Sand underneath.
Cool Jawas are great.
Okay, that's cool. What do you want your advantage to be?
My advantage. I don't know.
I need 5 lightsabers.
I'll take his training by often.
I don't.
He's not had a despair yet.
I don't
Just flip it out.
Nah, just I like 4 threats and my holdout bastard gun. My
You got a heavy
advantage,
blaster,
I don't know.
Do you want to come back? I'll come back to
I
you.
don't really know how I could use it in this situation.
That's fine.
Honestly.
I'll let you hold on to it for now, because this is all abstract time anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll let you pause on that just now. You were trying to do something,
Yes.
right?
I want to run back. Still, like, so I'm still wanting to run, but I want to enhance. I want to force sprint as fast as I can
Back the way you can.
back the way.
So
I'm still
not towards him,
No.
but towards her.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you know that you've been walking longer than it took you to get in.
Yeah. That's why I'm deciding to call on the force.
What am I rolling for you?
I've got it here actually. I'm just going to roll it just now.
Cool.
So we've got 2 successes because I got a.
What are you rolling?
I'm rolling 2.
No.
Right.
What skill?
Sorry, athletics.
Okay.
I'm enhancing athletics
Yep.
as well. So roll green, yellow, and 2 mod force dice because I've got.
Yeah, cool. Roll
I've
that.
got a white, 2 advantages, and a success. So 2 successes and 2 advantages.
Cool. You also have 5 dark side points there as well.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I was totally going to use them if I was dark. I was just
So-
going to like. Well, but
What do you do?
actually, we're trying to decide whether Ren would use the dark.
Depends. What?
'Cause I'm-
what is it
I'm-
you're trying to achieve?
I'm feeling right now that he's panicking.
He or she?
Me.
Alright. Okay. So
I am
Ren's.
panicking
Yep. Yep.
somewhat because as much as I like to talk to Penn as if I know about the Force, I still. That's one of the reasons why I'm running back to her.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, this shit's. I'm like, he'll be okay. He can hopefully come get me. I am scared. And so I'm like, she's probably going to be scared if she can sense more, which is why he's just running. Because he doesn't know what else to do. He's stuck in the middle of. He sees nothing. He's just running. So I'm going to spend. I'm going to flip the destiny point.
So you're going to spend dark side points?
I'm going to spend all of them.
All of them.
What?
All of them.
Right, so you're going to spend all of the dark side points.
The
that you've
5 from there,
got, and you want to spend
one
a
I
light
have.
side destiny point.
Because as Ren feels it, he can just feel power. And as far as he's concerned,
More power is better.
he
Yeah.
just needs.
How many? Let's say that's 5.
So it's 6 in total. I got 1 as well. I got dark. So that's 6.
Cool.
And a
You're on-
success and 2 advantage.
You're on 7 conflict and 7 strain. Okay. So take that.
I almost knocked yourself.
I've also here.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, so this is probably taking quite. Maybe the surge of power rushes through you a lot. You've never felt this powerful. When you tap in it, you go. Your panic almost feeds it, and you go, no, I need to go there. I need to get her. I need to make sure she's okay. I'm not okay. She won't be okay. I need to go. And then you're propelled through these corridors so fast. Again, you've never felt this power before, and you like the fact that you can do it. Maybe there's a sense of you're maybe the Jedi that you were supposed to be at this moment, because you're at the level where you've seen Jedi move this
I'm
fast.
feeling like this is what I was always told.
Like
I
maybe
could
you've
do.
watched Jedi duels before, where knights in training are actually fighting, and you see how fast they can move, and it's hard for obviously your eyes to keep up with it because they're that fast. Even with training blades, it's still incredibly dangerous with that. But now you're at that level, and you're like, well, this is what I should be at. This is where I'm meant to be.
And the last youngling, this is what
Yeah.
I've always told. I should be great.
What are you doing, Luminae?
I think she would turn and go the opposite way from what she was sensing.
In or out?
You were sensing it. You sensed it
I
towards
turned
out first.
round.
and then
I turned round
So you want to
look
go
out
away
the
from where the source of this was?
Yeah, which was inward, so I'm running out towards
Yeah.
the door again.
So out the way, because I know the directions are abstract.
as I flash around the corner.
That's fine. What would you want to do?
I think she just, because of the pain of feeling that much and just the drain of it, she'd just be trying to get away, not really consciously deciding to do something, just not getting it.
Yeah, that's fine. As you're running away, you feel a sense of familiarity. So you feel like you're running from people. Like you feel like you've been running, but you knew you were running. Originally you're like, oh, I'm running away from that weird feeling. I don't like it. It freaks me out. I'm running away. But now it feels like you're not running away from whatever the feeling is. You're feeling like you're running away from someone you know. If that makes sense. So you're not sure who it is, but you know you don't want you're running, and it kind of is it's maybe the reason why you've been running around the galaxy as well. Maybe half the reason why you've been running around the galaxy, given that your motivations are to go find out you're a mysterious person. Excuse me. But you now feel like you're running from people. How does that make you feel?
She'd just be getting so confused and so conflicted. It's a dangerous word to use.
It is, isn't it?
But that's what
How conflicted?
Yeah.
Like a 7?
Hang on, let me just get myself.
No, I'm just going to come bursting out, be like, I'm
Um,
going back.
you run until you hit a straight wall. By the way, you don't hit it, but you
Till I come
you're-
upon it.
and you're like, oh, so there's no way to go forward. I'll leave you there. What do you do?
I think I was just checking my skills again because I knew I had one that I can seek, which sees through illusions. So I should kind of stop, look around, and then just try and ground yourself and properly
Yeah, can you roll
look
that?
around.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah, it's just one force.
Help. I'm stuck at a wall. Seek me.
I'm trying to find you.
Seek me. I'm trying to find
2
you.
dark
Too dark.
and 5 dark.
Oh.
I've got a lot of dark side punches to do.
She's too dark. Too dark.
One do
Is
the
it
dark
two to do it?
temple,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
embracing it.
It's one to do it, I think.
We're going to totally leave this temple. I'm going to be Ren Ardiliian.
Okay.
You're going to be An Daar, and she's not going to be Luminae because whatever the other.
Or
Darkany.
Oh wait, no, I can use two to find the direction of a person.
Right, so who are you looking for?
Oh, now we do our favourite.
It
Try
would
it.
certainly be
Because it would
Ren.
either be you or it would be the person.
Keep in
which
mind
you
there's a familiarity about this
Yeah.
person following.
Definitely not me.
I know, I think it would be just to look around, not to seek something
Yeah.
specifically, just try and see
It's like
what's
to
going
clear.
on.
How does it work? Tell me what it says. Just read it to me.
The skill.
Yeah.
The user may spend one force point to succeed in average. Oh no, sorry. Read to see through illusions, but that's a vigilance check. I read it wrong.
So do you need to make a vigilance check? Like, what does it do?
Yeah, it makes a vigilance check easier, but that was me misreading the.
That's okay. Do you still want to do that?
I will look for the person.
Yeah.
Right.
So the familiarity, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'd probably, because I'm so confused, look for somebody I actually know.
This is somebody you know though. This is
That's
what this
true.
feels like.
Yeah, okay, I look. I do
Yeah,
look
Is
for that
it
person.
is it the person you're running from, or you're familiar with?
Well, I was running away from this feeling, and then the feeling kind of changed into
Mhm.
familiarity that I was leaving behind. So I would stop and look for this person, right? Figure out what's going on. Look for the
Mhm.
familiar feeling.
So you wanna flip a light side,
Yeah. Let's flip another one.
and you're spending how many points?
2.
Two.
That's
Okay.
up to 3 contact.
Yep. So one for flipping and one for each point you spend.
Alright, so that's 4 contact.
Yep.
Yay!
Good one.
We thought you were going dark side first.
I know.
Why do you think I called the last session the Rishi Renaissance? This is the rebirth. The whole of you.
I'm coming back as a light Jedi and usually come dark side.
You use your power to like seek the presence that is familiar to you,
Mhm.
and you feel you open your mind to it, and it pulls you like through like the darkness, kind of like zooms past you, almost like into hyperspace but no starfield, and it pulls you so far, and then you can see the center of the temple, and you can't see anyone in the center of the temple, but it's like kind of huge, like big, proper Jedi-looking dark temple thing with like you know obelisks and various shapes and such, in the center, and that you snap back to where you are, and that's what you get for that.
I had hoped she would just see like An Daar and Ren just like miming invisible walls, being like
No, she wasn't looking for you. She looked for this familiarity.
just at
Right.
the
And dark. What did you have in mind what you want to do with your advantage, or do you want to keep it, hold it for now?
Yeah, I'll keep a hold of it for now. I
Cool.
can't think at this moment.
What do you do? Are you moving on? Are you staying put? Are you looking for people? Like, you tell me what you're gonna do, and I'll tell you where you can be. And I know there's not much to go on, but that's deliberate.
Yeah, I'm plodding on.
Cool. So, to be fair though, you're probably in a safe place where you can like, I know I didn't turn out like that, because I did save them. And maybe
As I'm behind them, just turning totally dark.
maybe that's the thing. I'm really interested to see what the three of you end up. And not scripted how that plays out. So, used to will probably get there at the same point. I need to go with you, and I need this to take 5 minutes. So, what is your next action?
My next action is because
So you're up against the wall.
Yep. Because I'm thinking about inspecting the door. Just want to double check everything. Right. Okay. I'm actually going to use my coordination
Mhm.
to try and figure out.
Almost like a kind of bearings type
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
to try and get my bearings, and I'm going to use the 4.
Cool.
Because I've been doing so well with that. It's like
Coordination wouldn't really do that, but navigation would.
is that skill?
Like, in fact, no, I think I actually let Luminae roll that, like in one of the first sessions. I think I let her roll coordination to get to the lockers quite well. So yeah, roll coordination, that's fine. But I'd quite like to roll it over here, based on the difficulty.
Okay.
What have you got?
I'm just the 2 green
2 green?
and 2 white.
2 green, 2 white. Cool. And this is to do what? Just
This is to get my bearings, because as far as I've just ran super fast than I've ever ran before, and I ended up at a wall. Clash. So I'm now like, hold
one
on.
success, 2 threat, 1 light, 1 dark, and 5 dark. Do you want to see the pool?
Whoa! How the hell did I succeed?
It's up against 3 red.
Because I'm now.
Yeah, you did pretty well.
I'm thinking at this point, I've ran up against the wall,
Step back.
and I think the wall kind of, almost if I did run into it, kind of jars me a bit, like to like.
Basically, like it
all-
forces you to like stop.
Yeah, all that power, and I've just hit a brick wall. You know, it doesn't matter how much power I threw at it. It's done nothing. It's done nothing. I
Literally,
feel
when
good.
you stop running, it feels like you were never running.
Mm.
Like you zoom to here, and then it's like there's a wall.
Mm.
So that's how it feels, but you know you were running.
Yeah.
And you were moving.
So, Ren calls on some of his basic training from An Daar, and it's just like,
Could you specify basic?
it's it, and it's just like, stop, think,
Yourself, yeah.
feel, and I can feel the power still there, but I can feel that. I know the light and dark, but I don't know the difference between it. The feel, I can feel one is power, and the other one is just more serene. And right now I'm just like, power didn't help. Serene. So I used the light point, and I use that to get my bearings on my location, how far I think I have moved, and why I wouldn't have found a way out. No, just
You don't think you've moved since you stepped inside the temple?
right.
You literally now realise that maybe you've not moved a single step.
That makes more sense.
You've got 2 threat, by the way.
Yeah.
Waiting.
I know.
You do have 1 light, 1 dark, and 5 dark to maybe buy off that threat.
Buy off the threat?
Can't you create successes or advantages with your?
Was it successes or advantages to gain success or advantages? That's correct.
Yes.
I keep forgetting the advantage part. Can you spend dark and light?
You need to flip a light side
Yeah,
destiny
I
point
get
and
it.
take strain. But
Yeah.
yes, you can.
Doing so well.
Yep, it's okay, but it's good to learn.
Mm.
Like this is the first time you have got to be Jedi properly, though.
Mm.
Like you have not really had a chance to express that. I wanted to give you guys an early chance to express that.
No, I'm not spending the dark. I'm not.
You guys spent the light though,
I'm spending the light.
so
I'll spend the light for 1 less.
okay, you're on a string.
Right.
Cool. Back that down.
That's what I was. That was what I was hoping for.
Right, you've got your bearings now.
Mm.
Right.
So I've not moved.
You've not moved.
So
But you'll take a strain because you realise that you've not moved and maybe the other 2 are lost now without you. And very quickly as well, now that you've kind of centred yourself, there's a lot of things that have rushed like through your head. Like, you almost feel like you were about to see something, like, or you feel like you were going to remember something, but you don't. And it's like that kind of almost like when you walk into a room and you forget why you were there. You get that, but as a kind of constant like feeling. And it kind of like, it doesn't make you uncomfortable unless you wanted to, but it's almost like something was trying to show you something.
yeah, I was
But whether or
wondering
not-
if perhaps I should roll my cool at this point.
You don't need to.
No.
Because you will now, you can see the corridor
Right.
when you turn back around, and you now see in front of you, like there's a straight corridor. It's not got ominous lighting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a dark corridor that goes on, but you can still see, and there's light at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's quite early. What do you do? You're gonna go back, or you're gonna go in?
I want to go in.
The 3 of you, you head towards obviously the centre of the room, I assume, like where you found like Luminae is. You head towards your vision,
Yeah.
and I assume you head on as well. You kind of step out like this, Nico, like An Daar kind of steps out of that kind of weird nostalgic mist stuff, and he finds himself looking into a very large room, like a very like kind of central chamber looking room, one might say. at like the other side of it, and see, you know, if there were 3 entrances to this room. Luminae is over at the other side of it. Something you probably can't quite see her. There's too many like weird obstacles in the way. Like it has a weird obelisks of weird shapes coming down from the ceiling as well. It's a very strange looking room. And at the other side, you step into the room as well. I need you all to make fear checks for me as you look at the centre of the room.
It's got to be cool discipline or whatever.
You can.
Okay, but discipline.
Right, so I'll do An Daar first then. So 2 yellow, 2 green. Okay, it's 3 successes, a triumph, and 2 threat. Hold that and remember it. I won. 3 successes, 1 triumph, and 2 threat. I'd mark the strain down now.
Okay.
He has a pencil. Right, you're going to mark the symbols down as well. Right, what am I rolling for you?
Well, it's the same stat for both, but I will pull it to 2 green, sorry.
Just 2 green, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, I'm blank.
That's okay.
Wait, so was that taking the threat straight?
Yeah.
So,
Check yourself.
3 strain.
Okay.
Right. Also, you have like a wave of fear come over you. You're golden, by the way. Like you know what the worst thing could have happened to you is now. It's all working perfectly. I love that the dice just know what I want. But yeah, you now know exactly what like the worst could happen. So what you're looking at doesn't phase you anymore because you kind of have you know what you need to do now. I'll explain that in a second.
Green and 8. Oh, sorry.
Yep. 3 strain. This is affecting you like it affected you before, and you'll know why in a second. But there were no successes at all. You didn't. But there were no failures. So you fail, but there's no bad outcome. And what am I rolling for you?
Green and a yellow. That's my cool.
One success, 2 threat.
What?
So now that you've centered yourself, you kind of like you might still be scared, but you know you've got bigger things to deal with than just your own fear. So maybe your own fears manifest in the 2 like strain. What are you on strain wise?
I'm on 10.
What's your threshold?
12.
Oh dear God. So yeah.
The cool, does that not recover?
after fight.
It's after fights.
It's after fights. You can roll it when it makes sense to roll it, but it does. You would never feel cool in here.
No.
Trust me.
Hey, I felt cool. That's the try.
Had you not centered yourself, you might have felt cool.
Yeah.
But you centered yourself, so you didn't get any illusions. But that's you. But because you kind of like went, no, cool. I know things are trying to tell me things. I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to deal with this. I know I've got bigger problems to deal with. As you all look to the centre of this room, as I said, you can either choose to have noticed each other step in or not. But you probably didn't notice each other instantaneously because that cold feeling, that fear washing over you. You don't. You're like, I know that's there, but it doesn't matter because as I said, you've successfully done that. You still got that currency to spend, by the way. You obviously are like, it doesn't bother me. That's fine. I need to find people. I need to find. That's the more important part. You know, I need to get back to Anne. I need to get back to Penn. Luminae, you probably are more scared at this point. You're like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why did I agree to this? I could just have been off in another spaceship somewhere. Like maybe it's a bit more panicky. It's a bit more real that way, I think, for you. And in the centre of the room stands the Inquisitor you saw on the ship. Just standing again in the samurai style big armour plating that it was. Who would instinctively go for their weapons?
I'd quick draw.
Cool. You look down. Again, obviously, you knew that your gun and all that wasn't there. But you look down and you have a lightsaber hanging from your belt.
Oh my god.
You spark it on, and it's a beautiful cyan blade comes out of it. You also notice that you're wearing robes, and you're also
It's still
you're probably,
good. I feel good.
You're a bit older. Your beard's a bit fuller. And would you go for a weapon? Do you go for your
Probably
training blade?
Probably not.
No.
He's see, I'm an Ataru striker, so I'm just like best way to
Oh,
win
he's
a
in a
fight
man's
is to use
disciple.
it.
His lightsaber is his defense.
Probably not though. I mean,
That's fine. Like,
I
you don't
think
need
I've
to.
kept my cool and discipline so far.
Yeah.
I don't think I would get panicky now. Like,
Cool, yeah. But you see the spark of the blue blade from over in the corner. So you see him sparking with the lightsaber.
Cyan.
You know, cyan is a shade of blue.
sky
Blow yourself.
Normally, she would be quite quick to draw a weapon, but I think she'd be too overwhelmed by
just
everything.
kinda stands there,
just frozen.
Cool. At this point, I will pause. I'm happy to go on with you two if you want. If you're wanting to check out now, Nico, because it's 10.
That's a 10. So
Yeah.
the bottom. So I'll probably just sit down and start meditating.
I'm entirely okay with that. If that's going to do it, let me just pause this. And I will.
Keep my
And we're back now that Nico has left. So, as I said, in the centre of the room, the Inquisitor is standing there. You feel the pulse come off again, like the one you felt in the night flight when you first encountered him. And you look over to An Daar, who's now like kneeling down in his like dark brown robes that he's wearing, cross-legged, and just starts meditating. What do you do?
Do I see either of them, or am I?
Yeah, you. I mean, it's up to you. Would you have noticed him, or would you?
I'd like to
focus on him?
say yes, because I think one of the first things I would do when I see a threat is try and work out the situation, try and get my bearings on. Is there anybody else here? Is he the only bad guy I've got to deal with, or do I need to say
The entire room is huge, almost like a giant sphere, almost, like a kind of hollowed out sphere. And as I said, there's lots of like weird obelisks coming up, and like they're all like 5-pointed obelisks, like 5-sided. But yeah,
what are you doing?
As soon as you ignite your lightsaber,
Or
it's within,
like
I think she'd still just be staring at the Inquisitor. Just kind of.
I'm just trying to figure out whose side I want to rush to. Enemies or
well, An Daar sat down looking very like.
yeah, I know he's
In
Qui-Gon in
control.
me. So that's what worries me. He's Qui-Gon in me right now. Right, I want to run to her then.
Yeah, sure. So you want to run. So as I say, use your kind of in a triangle,
Mm-hmm.
and the Inquisitor's in the centre.
Yeah.
So you're just going to run in a straight line to her?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
And I will use enhance again.
Sure.
Answer. 2 successes.
No, if it's anything in here, I'm going to roll it, sorry.
Oh right, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, 2 white.
It's okay though, if you want to keep like your roll, I'll
Mm.
just roll the difficulty
Yeah,
and we'll
sure.
compare if you want. Right. And you're rolling athletics and the force.
Yes.
And what did you get, sorry, in total?
I got 2 successes. I got
Let me just work out what this would be as well.
because for somehow I've rolled it again and it's better this time, but that wasn't the roll I got.
Well, you want me to just roll the whole thing here?
Yeah,
Would that be easier?
you might as well. 'Cause
What's your pool?
yellow, green, 2 white.
Yellow, green, 2 white. And let me put it in my pool here. That is the wrong colour. Keep forgetting to put it in opposite. When it's opposed checks. I'm just adding more to your pool. Yep, that's adding more to your pool. This is becoming way easier for you. This is basically to see who gets there first.
Oh no, I'm trying.
Wouldn't it be great if I had one stat that is, seems to be missing? Oh, there we go. Cool. I'm gonna have to do that part separately. And I think that's. I'm working off a really weird image for the stats, so bear with me.
He died. Remember, I died.
I've rolled 4 failure, 1 advantage, 2 light, 1 dark.
Fire.
No. No.
Oh.
4 failures, 1 advantage. What are you doing with your light and your dark? Let me tell that first.
Yeah. I'll spend the light on another advantage.
Sure, just one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not using the other dark.
Well, there's 2 light.
2 light? Oh, there's 2
2 light, 1 dark, yeah.
Okay. I'll spend both on advantage then for
Cool, so you get 3 advantages?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll describe this and you'll let you see how you want to play that out. As you go, do you pretty much like, how does it look? Describe to me how it looks when you're like channeling that, like before you run, or is it just that you pelt and you move faster? Like
It's more of the way I see it is there's almost like a second where I'm slower, as I
right.
I just kind of go.
So for your perspective, things
Yeah.
slow down.
There's a moment where I just look like I'm going to run, but I've not run, and then I just go.
Cool.
There's sort of no point where I'm standing still, going into the run. I'm just still, and then I'm running.
Right. As you go to run, like you bolt, and as I say, you see like Luminae come so close, like really as if you're just about to reach her, and then all of a sudden you're running and you're in front of the Inquisitor, or should I say the Inquisitor's in front of you, and literally as they are coming in to grab you. I think what we're going to do is we're going to roll initiative now, and I think that's what we're going to do. Yous prepared to do that just now, both of you.
It's been so long, I've forgotten.
yeah.
What is it you roll for?
Vigilance or cool? I'm going to say you want to use a cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel this is a cool check, not a vigilance check, for initiative. And let me roll it for him as well. I also want to go for this.
Are you wanting to roll it then? If you, oh, is this for initiative?
Can I ask for excuse me, can you track this for me? If that's okay, I just need you to mark things down for me. I basically just need to roll the dice for this. And make sure I'm using all this correctly. Yeah, sure. Okay, I want you to mark down 2 success, 4 advantage. Just write 2S, but make sure the S looks like an S. 4A. Cool, it's okay, I can track for that.
But you're wanting like an initiative order.
Well, this will tell me the order. Cool, what do you get?
I get. What? Hold on.
Did you roll the wrong
I
one?
rolled the wrong green. Apparently.
Cool, Luminae, why don't you give me your cool?
2 green, please.
Just 2 green for cool, yeah?
Yeah.
Roll that for you. 2 successes. Cool.
Success and 2 advantage.
Success and 2 advantage, yeah. Okay, so that's 1 success and 2 advantage. So the order is me, and then you have 2 slots. So let me just make that there. Remember, you don't need to take them in any specific order. But I think it's more specific.
Because the next thing I'm getting is the one that let me use the drink.
Okay, so I'm up first.
I'm really straight.
Here I am.
We'll wrap up the rest of this, and it won't be much longer. Right, so
Go for 10 hours to do.
Really?
right, he's right in front of you, obviously. The first thing he goes to do, as I said, he's standing over, and you, like I said, the whole face is covered, as I said, and there's like 2, like where the cheeks are, like near the mouth, like where the mouth would be, if you will. There's 2 discs, like kind of almost outlined in the mask, and like you don't really hear anything, but then you hear like the mechanical movements of like the mask, and you see like 2 discs, like kind of almost 2 cylinders, like slide out from the cheeks with like a blue glow of light, and then a kind of electronic voice. You hear no as you go to run, obviously at him. At that point, and then he's just going to back you with like his arm, as if like as soon as he stood in front of you, the next exact thing to do is to smack you out of the way. So I'm going to be rolling against you.
Okay.
Do you have any defences of any kind?
No.
Okay, well this will be interesting. Okay. That is 8 strain. Mark it down. 8 strain, and the lightsaber you were holding is smacked out of your hand, and it's scattered like
Oh, that's fine because I'm unconscious anyway.
way further across. You see, like that goes. So
If I've hit my strain threshold,
you're unconscious.
yeah. Does anything happen to the strain above that?
If it does, I don't need to know about it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would have been damage if it wasn't for a move that he has. It's called pressure point. That means he does strain damage if he chooses, which he chooses. So you've been smacked. Maybe you smack about the middle of the kind of like the huge circular room, and your lightsaber like smacks off like an obelisk or something, lies around a fair bit away from you. That's him. Yous are up for a slot. Who would like to take a slot?
Think it might
I'll
have
let
to
you
give me
attempt to
something.
make a roll to get up. Well, if you
You're
want.
not unconscious.
What even would that be?
You tell me. You justify it to me?
I don't know
Convince
how-
me?
I'm unconscious. I don't understand.
Yeah, but you want to not be unconscious, so you justify that to me. And while you're trying to do that, I assume Luminae will go.
Yeah, that would snap her out of
Streetwise.
just staring. So
That's
roll
it.
streetwise.
Always streetwise.
It's always streetwise. I guess she would instinctively go for blaster.
Yeah, sure.
Does she have her blaster on?
No,
No.
but she does have a lightsaber.
She would just kind of stare at it and then hit the button, hoping for the best.
It's a very dark blade, very blue.
Then, with no idea how to use it, but running off here to run at the
Yeah,
Inquisitor.
you want to go for it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
thinking either reverse or wrong.
Right. Tell me what your lightsaber skill is. What? How many ranks of it do you have?
Pardon?
How many ranks of it do you have?
I have
Either
nothing
whether
in
it's from
anything
crashing
remotely.
landed
Really? Because
Melee.
it's on my sheet it says you have one.
What
Kinda
what skill is that?
lightsaber that runs off brawn. Unless you have any talents that manipulate that. But what I'm saying is, on my sheet you have one rank in it.
Okay. There we go then.
Yeah. So
You have
what's your
lightsaber?
brawn?
My brawn is 2.
Cool. So that's 1 green and 1 yellow. And yeah, so from the back, running at him, normal difficulty is 2. He has a thing called adversary 3, so any attack is upgraded 3 times against him, any difficulty of it. So I think I'm going to run with, if you can't upgrade, you don't add new dice. I just think that's a better rule of thumb. So it basically means that those 2 purple go to red. We'll discard the 3rd one because there's no option to upgrade. The same will count if you use upgrade, you just won't get additional. It will just I'm trying to think. Also, he has a melee defense. So that's well. You don't overcome any melee defense of any kind, do you?
I don't think so, but I'll double check.
This is where An Daar would have been really.
This is actually where An Daar would have been amazing. Yeah. He chose not to fight.
You fucking Qui-Gon, right?
Nope, nothing helpful.
Cool. Let me roll this for you.
Yeah, go on. See also if you have magically learned lightsaber and I spent my points learning lightsaber.
2 failures.
2 failures.
Alright, so
Oh, that's not so bad.
yeah, that's not bad considering the total was
Yeah.
yeah.
Could be like, all despair.
That was 2 red and a black you're up against, by the way.
Uh-huh.
So that was alright. Right, you I believe it was that pull anyway. You go to hit and like as you come down Again, he just kind of like smacks your hand out of the way. So like as you like swing with the blade again, however you would describe you as you when an attack, yeah, like an overhand thing, it kind of like smacks that to the side because he's too busy like having knocked Ren right into the centre of the room that by the time he's turned round and you've just ran at him, he's just used his other big, like again this guy's like 8 foot tall, so it's just like smacked you to the side. And then you just again you see like the blue like the discs on either side of the mask light up, the cylinders slide out and the blue glow is there, and then you hear in the electronic voice pathetic, and then they click back in to the mask. Cool. You just have another slot.
I was thinking brawl because I'm used to being smacked about.
You gonna try a better skill?
And that the only other thing really then is resilience.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's pretty much it.
What you got?
2 green.
Do you want me to control it?
Yeah. I assume there'll be difficulty things, so it's easier for you.
Sorry, did I take anything for failing, or is it just?
No, it was just 2 failures. That was all. Oh, there were actually. Right. So you've got 2 advantages. Would you like to have spent those other advantages you didn't spend? Because didn't you have like 3 floating around?
I think I did.
So, why don't we just pile all this into a triumph? Because that's 5, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it every time, but
Mhm.
for the sake of narrative, how about you have a triumph? Because you only have 2 advantages from this roll. So what are you going to do with that? Do you maybe like to get back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, you're back up. You can take 1 off your strain threshold. That's what you're sitting at. You feel incredibly winded. You feel like you've been hit by a spaceship going at like hyperspeed. Or light speed, I should say. That is how much like that hurt.
Yeah.
So, back to me. As you've been kind of staggered back a bit, the Inquisitor like just walks towards you, and basically just goes to pick you up. Again, huge hands. Goes to kind of grab you by the throat itself. So you're gonna roll. And what's he up against? So it's standard of 2. Is there any defense or what am I up against?
It's melee defense, isn't it? I've got 1 defense and melee.
Right, so you have 1 defense and melee. Good. That roll out.
Good.
Let's go. Physical defense.
Do you look great?
Is it awful?
My
Huh.
true.
Yes.
You're gonna take 5 strain.
Okay.
Sorry, 10 strain.
10
Sorry,
strain. So
10.
I'm well and truly unconscious now.
10 strain and 1 threat. But that threat's mine. Don't worry about that. I'll take the strain for that. Don't worry. That can count as an advantage for you, by the way. That threat, because it's on his roll, or it's an advantage for you, or it's a threat for me. Really, it's threat because you didn't roll an advantage, but it can be an advantageous thing for you if you want to describe what that threat to him could have been. But that's up to you to decide that. You're on
The piano
10.
from the sky.
So I just fall unconscious as well.
You're smacked across the room.
Yeah.
Well, how much are you actually on then?
Well,
Is that
I
right?
was right up there.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm now 116 strain out of 12.
Did it beat his score? What was your total when you took?
My total ended up at 18.
Alright, so you're winning.
You're doing better being smacked
Cool.
than me.
So you just get up literally to see her after having like maybe you get to see her just her running and like going at it, smacks it over, and then like the other hand comes out and just like again like kind of like pushes like on the chest with like the palm of his hand and smacks her, and you fly into a column and like you see the column crack, like throwing out like kind of shards of it. Your lightsaber like falls next to you as you kind of slump down at this like column unconscious, and you see the slow like Ren sees this as he's getting up, like the slow crack of the column slide off and like thump onto like the kind of ground of the temple floor. Yeah, you just have a slot.
Oh, I'd give her a blaster by my side right now. Ancient weapons and cookie powers are not my. Oh,
I personally have a bad feeling about this.
I have a very bad feeling about this. Because the only thing I can do is charge at that mofo.
What makes you say that?
I have no weapon.
Why don't you just look for your weapon?
Because then I need to go get it. Last time I went to get something, he just was like,
You tell me what you want to do. What would
I would charge him.
So you wouldn't go for a weapon?
No, it's as far as I'm aware, the last time I used the force to enhance my movement, I couldn't even get to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting to my
I
weapon.
said whatever like you would do in your character,
Yeah.
do that.
I can't pick it up and dictate it. I'm just going for him. Plus, I'm heavily wounded. She's just been smacked into an obelisk. If I could use the force to be like, bah, I would be right now, but I can't because it's not me.
Cool.
So I'm just charging him.
Yeah, cool.
With a yellow and a green on my brawl. This is not my forte. This is what Andy's for.
This really is.
This is really what Annie's for. Even in my specialization for learning lightsaber skills,
One.
there's no defense.
Success.
What?
And 4. Right.
So he smacked with him while unconscious.
So describe your charging. What type of attack are you connecting with?
So he's got his back to me, doesn't he?
No, really. You'll be charging him and you'll be like he's. What's happened is you ran. He faced you. Like so, you were running towards Luminae. He appeared in front of you.
Yeah.
As you were running towards her, and he smacked you across the room, like into the center of the room. Your lightsaber flew off in that direction as well. He then turned around, but again, he was facing at an angle, so his side was to the center of the room when he smacked you into it. He then turned around, so his side is still facing at the center of the room, and smacked her lightsaber out of the way, and then followed through with the other hand, and smacked her into a column. So he's now facing the center of the room as well.
In terms of the disadvantages I have as well, what Ren would do is rush up and he like grabs the hand that's been smacking people and gives him a good old Ardiliian kiss to the head,
Yeah.
to his robotic head, and just douche.
So you're gonna go and like headbutt him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mechanical man.
Okay.
The mechanical head.
Yeah. What is your brawl?
It is.
Your bronze, sorry.
My brawn is 2.
Right, your bronze 2. So you're doing a total of 3 damage.
I guess if my unarmed is.
Well, that's how it works. It's your brawn plus whatever your successes are.
Okay.
Cool. As you connect, you feel the pain of that connection
Yeah.
because this doesn't he doesn't budge an inch. Like you know nothing happened. You just hurt. It was like a headbutt on a wall basically for you. And you'll be taking 4 strain.
Yeah.
So you fall unconscious. You have a slot.
Oh!
Try rolling resilience to see if I can wake up again.
You don't need to roll it. That's just what you rolled.
Well,
It's justified.
It seems like the best one.
That's it. I'm open to negotiation. No, I'm open to negotiation. I'm not open to
not
rolling
rolling
negotiation.
negotiation.
That was a terrible choice of words.
I got what you meant.
You can always
Roll
try
skill
cool.
liver.
You could try cool. You could try discipline. You could try resilience. As I said, you tell me. Remember, resilience is very physical. You could always try mental fortitude.
Pardon? Sorry?
Resilience is a very physical defense. You could always try mental defense.
That depends.
Just depends what you would do or what you're better at.
Can I roll vigilance to try and prepare myself for the impact?
Yeah, sure. If you want to do it, try to do that like almost as you were hit by it. But to be fair, that's more of a resilience thing. Is to kind of brace for a hit.
Yeah.
Mentally, it would be like cool or discipline.
All rolling 2.
You tell me what you want to roll. And I'll let you.
Cool. So cool.
No, I'm
No,
not.
coordination.
I'll roll cool. Just try and get myself together.
What am I rolling? 2 green?
2 green, yeah.
Can I roll that for you? Roll advantage.
So I don't manage to get up, but
You feel better, you feel tired, you feel sleep.
Why don't you spend that to heal strain?
yeah. See, you heal 1 strain per. So I was at 16, but my threshold's
No, you
12.
would- you would
so
hit your
does it
threshold.
cap at 12?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'll
So
be
you can go
back
down.
to 8 strain.
Cool. So maybe you now come to as you see him run at the Inquisitor and like go to headbutt. So basically he has to like jump up to like headbutt. It probably looks like a football move to be honest. He jumps up, headbutts and kind of just falls unconscious at his feet, and then you just see like the Inquisitor look down.
I gave the robot a Cordelian kiss.
I thought you called it a robot.
He's got a big robotic face and he robotic at me. So.
Right. Do you want to do anything that you're conscious?
Okay. Go for the lightsaber if it just fell.
It's in your hand.
I thought I dropped.
You did.
Alright, okay.
Damn this mental magic!
And get up to my feet then.
Cool. Yeah. Right. It's back to him. This will essentially happen for quite a while because mechanically it would help if you had Nico here, but you don't need Nico here to have done this. This is his stats. I just want to like kind of highlight that for you guys. These are his stats. This is how difficult he will be to fight.
So I did 3 damage?
No.
Damn it!
I told you you felt like you just hit a wall and it didn't, like it basically just hurt you. It didn't hurt him. He has a high soak. But yeah. I think what we'll do is we'll have it, you come to, you would probably go to attack, I imagine. You want to describe what your action would have been to do? Like just narratively?
Yeah, she just run at me again.
Yeah, with a lightsaber again. As you would run at him, he would have like grabbed her like either by the throat or the hand, and then just both. And then at one point just squeezed your hand till you dropped the lightsaber blade, and then fell unconscious again. And then he would have dropped you next to him. At that point, I imagine An Daar will either have stayed meditating, or will have then went to fight. Either way, when you guys come to, you're in an empty, like a very empty kind of like cavernous room. An Daar is there, either having stayed conscious or not, and we'll find out when An Daar is able to check in with us. He's come to it and Safer Zoe is standing there, and he's saying, "You have done better than most people that have ran this trial, from what I've managed to read from the archives of this place. Even I struggled with my own test. But you seem to have passed." You just look to the centre, and there's an obelisk that wasn't in the centre, and in the centre of it there's like a kind of an item just kind of hovering in there. I don't know if he's wanting to go, but Safer Zoe just is standing there, so he's kind of waiting on what you guys do. You still feel horrible about it.
Yeah. I stand up and just look at Penn and Annie. Because I know I feel like crap, I don't know what anybody else is like.
I just kind of stagger to my feet and clearly look at Safer and not really understanding what's going on.
Like he puts his hand on like your shoulder, they can kind of tell like you're obviously slightly distressed by everything that's just happened. And you're like, "It's over. You're still here." We'll see. We'll just roll your conflict out. As in the centre of the room, there is the obelisk with the item on it. Can you tell me what you do?
I step forward. I've just been through hell as far as I'm concerned as well. And my motivation is what's that? What is that? That's my character. He's like, "Well, I'm here." What's
Cool.
this?
Do you touch it? It's like I don't know, it's probably the size of a box that's on the table.
Yeah. We go to.
Cool. It's a very ornate looking box, one might say. As soon as you touch it, you're no longer in that room. You, from your point of view, only just see Ren holding it. Like, as in like it's still floating above the obelisk, but he's just holding it. You see like an elderly woman standing, like a very tight necked collar, white hair, slightly emaciated face, kind of very sharp piercing eyes, fancy weird black collar coming off one shoulder, and she just looks incredibly pleased with herself, and she's like, "You passed my test. You conquered your fear. Take this reward and learn from it, my dark disciple." and then you're back in the room where you were.
I step back and I don't take a thing in the middle.
Go. What about yourself?
Just look at it and go, what?
Might look and go, touch it and see. I'm very well aware that Rachel's clearly had a different situation, so I don't want. Because in Ren's mind right now, she's called me her dark disciple. I don't know if she's going to say that to the rest of them, because I know I went through it. So I'm worried that I'm turning dark.
You also don't know what you'd have seen.
So I'm just
Have
like,
you?
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
What do you do?
Just kind of look suspiciously and a bit curiously at the box and then look at the safer zone and go, what is that?
There it goes. That's your reward for the trial. You passed the test of the temple.
She kind of hesitate, take a step towards it and then hesitate because she's seen Ren's reaction to it.
My range reaction, as he said, was touch it.
That's true, but she's suspicious.
Did you sense me?
So, what do you do?
I think she'd wait to see what An Daar did, but that's not helpful.
No, it's not.
Because
You can't rely on
Well,
it, unfortunately.
And I was probably going to touch it.
You tell me what you're going to do. What would you do? You can't rely on An Daar. An Daar's not moved yet. He's not got up on his feet yet.
Okay, no, it was
So
more
Saber's
if he
always
was,
maybe looking at him and
Yeah.
dealing with him just now.
okay,
Yeah,
no,
I
it was
think
if he was conscious, she would
Would-
go
would-
last, but if he's not conscious.
Would Penn be too afraid to touch it, or would she be like, did all that shit? What is this?
There isn't any fear anymore, by the way. You just can't
Okay.
feel any of that. Like, any of the tense atmosphere isn't there anymore. This just is like a big empty room. Like, I say empty and say that all the obelisks and everything are still here. It's the exact same as it looked before, but there's no sign of Dinko's or anything.
Well, she's hesitate and then just kind of steel herself and march forward purposefully and touch it.
Cool. Again, you see the woman I described. You see the very pleased look on her face, the dark, piercing eyes, and again, you hear exactly what he said. What he said, which was, "You have conquered your fears, my dark disciple. Take my holocron and learn from it." And it is that different.
She pulls her hand away, just looks at Ryan and goes, what did you see? What?
In my head, I hear, "I saw that in Mama Majama." But let's not go off track.
Let's not go down that road again.
Yeah.
So what?
I've been keeping
what
it
is
straight. I say I have to take my reward, and I look at Annie and say,
Are you okay?
Well, then good. Have
I'm not slow
advantage.
on that one, but
I know it took a while for us to get to that one actually. And she called me her dark disciple. I feel like I'd be more ashamed because I'm assuming it's because of what I did and not because it's what she just says.
Assuming you won, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I say. I have to take my reward, and she called me a dark disciple.
Luminae would just reply with, yeah, me too, and then just kind of just look really intently at the thing, try to figure out what to do with it. Just
Okay, so do you want? So do you touch it again? Do you not touch it again? Do you want to wait for An Daar to get up and touch it? Like, what do you want to do?
I think she.
I ask Safer what is the reward.
You can't tell you. It's not his reward. This is your reward. So he can't answer that. He is trying to corrupt you. What would you do? Would you just wait? Would you want An Daar to touch it, or would you like touch it again? You tell me.
I take.
So you don't want Annie to touch it?
No, I don't. I've got. She told me she said the same thing.
Well, there were tiny differences.
Yeah, but she told me she said the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, it's cool. Record message type of thing. I'm like, okay. I go for it, and I take, because this is why I'm here.
Cool. You take it, and the kind of glow in it dims, and it just is a heavy box in your hand.
Poke, poke.
Yep, that's it.
Got a heavy box.
I'm gonna ask a really dumb question because I'm not the Star Wars expert at all. What I know vaguely what a holocron is, but how do they work? Is it?
But your character wouldn't know that.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
genuinely out of character. I can't picture it properly because I'm not clever enough.
Well, what happened after I took it? Is there
I'll
still,
get you a picture of a holocron.
is there still something in the middle? Like, is there 3 things in the
You
middle?
can't see. You can't see. It's not see through.
What, the middle's not? Oh, so
No.
it's just a thing, and you put your hand in, and.
Well, there was one holocron.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a cube. When you took it, everything dimmed, including the holocron. Here is here's a few images. They're little kind of intricate boxes,
Okay, got you.
and they generally glow,
Okay.
and like they change shape and stuff, and change and whatnot. They're generally like used to store information, but other things have been stored in them.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean think as mystical and as weird as you want.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's that. Would you like to see who you saw?
Yeah.
That is the woman you saw. I very much appreciated the outfit. And that's who you saw. As you pick up the box, you hear like a kind of cackling, like a like as it fades off, and then kind of vanishes like a whispering call. And you're holding the box. An Daar gets up on his feet, blah blah blah, and Safer leads you guys out of the temple. As for that, I'm going to assume you told EJ where you were if we flash back to the other crew. The amount of days it has taken you guys to do all this, Hughes will be surprised if any of you actually have a watch. I can tell you that. If you don't, well, sucks to lose. But yeah, Hughes have been here for 2 days. 2 whole days.
In the temple?
In the temple alone. As soon as you stepped in 2 days later, this is you guys now. Safer informs you guys that your friends are outside. And yous are indeed outside. But for the sake of time, do you want to have any of the conversation that you might have wanted to have had on the ship next session? And that way we might have Emma? Or would you want to have said anything specific to any answers now? Are you good with that?
2 turns, I think.
I figured
Look
as
like
much.
you need your bed.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'll say, I guess, do you have any other questions you want to go on there? Anything you want to do before we wrap up?
No, I think if there's anything I want to do, I want to wait till the next
Yeah.
session and we've got more peeps.
If we get more groups, yeah.
If we get more peeps.
Right, let us do what we need to do maintenance-wise then.
Sure.
Cool, so I believe we're rolling conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a 4.
So, would you like to go first?
I will let you roll it because I feel it should be in fate's hands and you are fate.
Right.
It's a D10 that you roll, isn't it?
You want to go first then, yeah?
Yeah. I've got the highest. Might as well.
What is your conflict score?
7.
Cool, let me roll this for you. You rolled 9. I think you're moving up too.
I think I am moving up
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
Not bad.
beauty.
That's how it
So I
works.
get 1.
It happens.
Yep.
So what you on now?
55.
It's not bad. So you came through that pretty well. What
I was hoping because narratively it made more sense for me to come through with a higher morality in my head.
Well, I want you to think of why that is, and I want you to explain it to, like, specifically like An Daar and Penn next session. But I want you guys to give me reasons how you shift. And I don't need to say I shift up to 55, so this means I look happier. I want you guys to maybe like just tell me about like your emotional strengths and weaknesses, and I want you guys to play up on them more. And I want just to see that kind of develop and bloom a bit more in the kind of RP. Like if your like arrogance comes up more, I want to see that in your suggestions to people going, well, I'll just do that because I'm brilliant user brat. Like, I want to see that kind of stuff come out. But let's see what Luminae does. So,
Got 4 conflicts.
4 conflict, let me roll for you. Literally 1. So you're going down 3?
I'm going to 52 then.
52, but you're still above 50.
Oh, then
Yeah.
you were.
I was higher than you.
Oh, alright, no need to say it in such a.
But I think that makes sense. Like, think of the journeys both took, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that does make sense. You went through more conflict, but you have a drive through your conflict.
Yeah.
You don't have any drive for your conflict.
Yeah, I was just obsessed and scared.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you're like, I need to, like, I don't want to be here, kind of, like, so it makes sense that you would give into fear more.
Yeah.
Whereas, obviously, even your way of fighting was that you're giving into fear, because you're like, no, I wouldn't just fight, because I wouldn't do that. And then you're like, oh god, he's hurt, I suppose I have to. And it's it does make sense that you would fall.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, no, I'm saving, I'm here, I'm going to look after people. Like, it does make sense how it's working out, which I like. And
The
it's
dice
all,
are clever.
the dice just work out really well for us, let's face it.
Yes.
I would try and add a little bit differently, so it all makes sense anyway, if possible. Is there anything else we need to do? You probably want to try and justify some XP out of me.
To us, my favourite moment was the beat for my character. Was
Well,
when
let's
I
start at 5.
Whee! Is when he hit the wall, and I used that to be like, right.
Let's remember, these are all in this, so I want you to all justify what's good. You tell me. Give me your good RP moments. What do you think was worth it?
Stop using secret.
Yeah? Tell me why. Why was it good for you?
Because well, kind of mechanically it helped me getting my head around the situation, but narratively it brought the conflict into. So that's when I properly started using the dark side points that brought into the conflict of the situation and changed the narrative for Luminae of it.
Cool. Like, in what way? Like, how did it affect? Like, what did it do for her? Like, what did it do against her? Like, give me like the results of everything, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't just mean that she got to where she needed to be. Like, why is that good for her? Like, what did that lead to? Like, what are we going to see from Luminae from now on? Like, why was that worth more XP than something else that might have happened?
Yeah, well, it kind of, because I hadn't really explored her obsession with finding out that familiar presence, and also what was I going to say?
So yeah, I can come back if you want. Like, we can.
No, it was exploring the obsession, but also just exploring emotions rather than just playing with the mechanics. It was actually getting into the role a bit more.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you 5 for that. If it also helps shape like what your decisions would be in the future as well. Like, I mean, that's going to be interesting to see, because obviously character development is what the game's about. Let's face it. Like, that time this happened is why I now do this.
Yeah.
You know. Gib, what did you have fun with? Did you enjoy Nico's dancing ladies? Did you want to become a Nico dancing lady? You got plenty of dancing experience.
If I did nothing, no.
Really?
No.
Nothing? Do you wanna?
I liked your attempt at charm and everything.
I like the punching
Niska.
the restraints.
I liked your attempt at, well, if you
Remember, you don't need to justify your own actions. You can justify someone else's. I want to know what you enjoyed.
I really liked your, well, if you don't want his debt paid, then sure, don't tell me. Like, I really liked that, because it wasn't so much skill, it was just, it was the first time I've seen you just be like, well, okay, and you didn't think what skill to use. You just went,
Yeah,
well,
you actually RP.
you just
Same
used
way around the
you
problem.
just used the information that you had and attempted something without trying to roll it. I really
Also,
like that.
the good thing is, if you end up staying in like a kind of RP mindset, you have probably noticed that I don't make you roll. Because if you guys can make something that just makes sense that would carry on that way, I wouldn't make people roll, because unless you're looking for a result or you just want currency, like narrative currency, I wouldn't make you roll, because why would you roll in that
Because
situation?
even just that one small sentence stood out a lot compared to your attempt to charm and things, because it was the one thing you didn't look like you were thinking about. So I did really like that. I enjoyed that one.
It can be difficult as well, though, coming from a mechanically heavy system where you're told to justify, like, what do you roll all the time is horrible when you come into this game and you're like, what do you say?
Because
It's more important what you say rather than what you want to roll.
the other game that I'm playing just now is more mechanically heavy than any other game I've ever seen. Like, you spend dice to take a turn and things like that, and you have 3 types of dice, each have a different colour. He's designed this really. It's I understand why he's done it, but it's very complicated. And then I can come to and every time I try to do anything, I have to roll dice. Whereas this, I can be like, oh, then I walk down the street and I turn the corner, and I did that. And I like that. I like that there's a wee bit more.
Yeah. It just gives you guys more scope on the story, and I think that's important for a character, because I want you guys to be able to tell me what you would like to find, because I don't necessarily know what you are all thinking. I had to pretty much write a session based on the fears of each of your characters. I don't want to ask you what your fears were.
I love how I didn't have anything other than just losing those.
You did, but you never got affected by it.
Oh,
You centered yourself,
oh, nice.
so you didn't. As I said, you wouldn't have. You didn't see what possible things.
So I didn't even overcome my fear. I just didn't even run into it.
You just didn't. You just didn't.
I just didn't.
Whereas I just did.
I don't. You overcame your fear.
You basically went, I have more important shit to do than giving in to fear right now, so I'll get into that later. Right now I need to go this way. And that's kind of what you got away with. Had you failed that, you'd have been overwhelmed by what visions you would have seen. But there were 3 distinctly different paths I wanted you all to take. And I gave you each a different path that I probably won't go into any more detail of, because you might end up in another dark temple somewhere.
Oh,
who
the
knows?
only thing I want to ask actually is because my next thing I was going to try and do.
Well, I want to finish justifying
Oh, yeah.
XP first, so I want to justify XP so we can wrap up recording as well.
I was going to say I liked his reasoning with you.
No, I honestly think if we see more of like RP from Serendipity, I think it's only going to get better. I know it's difficult to RP, especially when it doesn't come naturally. I hate RPing personally. I do. I like being a wizard and throwing spells at people. I hate RPing to justify it, unless I have something witty to say, which is why I try and play asshole characters, because it comes naturally to me. But
I don't know where I'm going with her.
thing is, I think you need to find out where you want her to end up.
Yeah.
Like, pick where you want her to end up, even if it means you want to change your character in places, we'll fix that. But I'd rather you were playing someone that you had a direction with.
See, I do want her to be quite aloof and like not caring about anything,
Yeah.
but I've kind of written into her
But you should kind
thing
of care
about
about people.
wanting like
I think
slaves to be freed and stuff. But
you're doing her quite well in terms of just how you, because you approach it from a sort of, you take a step back and look at it.
yeah.
And
But the problem is that when I'm a mole and I can't like
I know, it's difficult.
she wouldn't have interfered with that deal at all in my mind.
Mechanically speaking, it's
I don't know.
difficult as well when you don't have your other people that were on the mission with you to help.
Yeah.
I knew it'd be difficult, but I specifically scripted changes into it before. Also, EJ was a floating piece. Had Emma made it, he wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Depending on how much they floundered. But he was always going to be captured, but whether you saw that or not was up in the air. I was like, I write him in because it gives me narrative currency to play with as a character. It gives you something to grab onto. But again, that's all stuff we'll tell you later. Plus, it also is a better way of having a person you have experienced fly you to where you need to go. Makes more sense why they do that and hang around.
I think the way you're playing her just now is fine, but I think you need to have an idea of where you're going with her.
As I said, find endgame serendipity and build backwards. Even if it's just that you want her to have like a shop with a husband somewhere. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally just think, why does she go out of bed? And then once you've got a reason for that, everything decision-wise that comes to you, like, does it get me closer to my goal or further away? And that's I design all my characters based on how I want them to like end up in the RP. And I go, right, now what do I need to do to get there? And that's what I do. I find it much easier to do that because I want to be the end game
Well,
super
the
powerful.
D&D alignment thing, because you kind of have an idea of.
But you can give yourself a limit. You can say I'm a good person or a bad person.
Is that even just something as simple as
Like, do you want the morality score? Anyone can take it. Like, I'll happily give them the morality score. I'll let you pick what number you want to start on as well, but I'll just let things affect you. So we'll let you pick like an emotional strength and weakness, because that's probably the closest to the alignment we've got. So if you want, we can talk about that.
even when it came to picking up that reward in the middle, like I literally just harkened back to my motivation. My character's like, I'm curious. I was like, oh, I might be terrified of that thing, but I'm curious, so he would just go for
So I
it.
think that would be good. I think what I'll do is, and I'll maybe give everyone that, because I think the morality thing would be interesting for the lifeboat situation. So what we'll do is I think I'll just give everybody the emotional strength and weakness and a morality score and let everybody deal with that, because I think it's the type of thing that I think decisions are going to be important. So when you make a decision that affects their morality, it should also affect yours, but they obviously would have a bigger shift based on the fact that they're force sensitive and it affects their outcomes, whereas you just affect I think we'll do that for Serendipity. That maybe gives her a bit more brackets to work in. But it would still be helpful to have an end goal for her. Again, whatever that may be. Because I know she's got her debt she wants to pay off, but that's also temporary. Like that's something you'll be able to pay off relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
So
I understood that's
at the moment.
probably why you wanted to keep money aside.
That was I really liked that, by the way. Convincing Cyanine to give the 10,000. Like, I really liked that. I was just like,
Did you also like how I got Shannon into the crew?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because
gave myself 5 XP for that.
I'll be honest, I didn't even, like, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, it's so obvious, but I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
I've just been like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was happy to jump on that because I'm like, I need Cyanide to have a reason to actually be part of the crew, and being like bought. If you're buying her place on the crew, is like that works for me. We're sitting on 10 XP currently. But that's what you did well so far.
And
So that's
we're still at the RP next.
so.
I don't know, I think, like,
Ask him about our XP.
Okay, cool.
Like,
I'll phone him back then.
I was gonna say, role-playing 1-on-1's never easy, so the fact that you held on for like an hour and a half.
it is
Like,
tough, but
yeah.
I needed it to wrap up without it dragging on a 3rd week. But I think you did well. Like I know how difficult it is RPing, and especially when you're like, I don't really know where it's going. Like it can be difficult,
Hello.
but I need you guys to like.
Hello,
Are we
can
going to
you
do
hear
it at 10 or?
We're actually just doing the XP just now. So, is there anything that comes to mind that
Because
you
I feel we
thought
should have a say.
was really good?
So
You know, you get extra XP and all that stuff.
like, what was his favourite moments?
What was your favourite moments? What comes to mind? You're useless.
Remember, it doesn't just need to be things for him. It can be things for
Yeah.
him.
Like not just what you're doing, like what we all did. Like, was there anything that any of us did you liked?
Like, what was his favourite moments in the session? They didn't like EJ being saved.
But what did you like? You like anything that Gib did, anything
Got me off the
that
ship.
Naomi did?
I suppose everybody will like that, so I guess.
What's that?
Tell me, useless and hang up.
Yeah, I think
We
you.
need to wrap this up.
I think you're just useless. We're gonna quit everything and I'll see.
Did you have any
you.
conflict?
You didn't have any conflict, didn't you? Not. No, he didn't. Actually, he didn't.
Catch it.
Right, no worries.
Cool. That was useless.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nico.
I expected.
What have we got XP for so far?
What I gave
You're
you,
5.
Five.
The 5. I think that's it.
like, basically what I gave you guys for 5.
5.
And 5 for Gib so far.
I thought you got 5.
I've only written 5 down twice. So I'm assuming, what am I justifying, you tell me?
I don't know. It was the sense.
So
or
your
something?
motivations for like,
Yeah, there was a
right,
sense.
okay, yep, so we're at 15.
15.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then,
The only other one that I thought of was not just the taking the moment to centre himself, but I really liked giving into the dark side. Not just mechanically, I really liked just that moment of whoosh. He's just like, no, power, oh cool. And then the I liked it not as a single moment, just a combination of
Yeah,
the two
like I
things.
said, it can be as much or as little as the RP
Yeah,
as you like.
I really like that section, just in terms of fun and being able to.
Actually like have fun by running that fast.
Yeah.
And, like being like
Yeah.
like a Jedi level power.
That glimpse of what he could be.
Yeah.
So I really liked that.
I'm really gutted you never saw the visions.
yeah, you'll just have to write another temp.
Yeah.
No, trust me, I'm really gutted that I didn't realize. If I thought I wouldn't have seen the visions by doing what I did, I wouldn't have done it. Because I was
Yeah.
really like, oh,
That's my idea.
I can't wait to see what.
That's why I never told him what you're doing.
I know. I was honestly
That'll
like,
be a 20 XP total. We'll cap it there. With that as well, you two can take a rank in lightsaber.
I already have one, so I take
No,
another.
you take a rank in lightsaber. Nico does not.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He was worried that he wasn't get. He was actually paid for one.
I was
Have you
like,
heard that?
No, I heard her.
Yeah.
Nico will get a rank in discipline.
Meditation.
Discipline, which is meditation.
Yeah.
Nico will get that for being patient.
I don't know if I know how to use a lightsaber as well as he does now.
But that is what your rewards are for that.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss the holocron when you learn about the holocron. We're done. We'll deal with all the reunion and everything next session. Hopefully we'll have an Emma next session,
Yeah.
and also a full party would be nice. Obviously we've not necessarily replaced Thalia yet, but Thalia didn't get on the ship with EG. I don't know if that was clear or not, but Thalia did say at the start that she wasn't. She was done with all the killing, so she's off on her own. She was happy to pay for EG to get out, but you notice maybe like as the thing's taking off and flying, you look around and you realise Thalia's not actually on the ship, so she's obviously not bothered to go. How that will go for Thalia, having helped somebody escape, we'll never know. But yeah, I'm done. It was a bit obviously cut and paste, but
I think it actually worked out really well.
I did my best to patch both stories
Mm.
together. It's just a shame we had to lose him like an hour early,
Yeah.
but that's fine. It doesn't matter. And obviously we started a wee bit later than I would like, but again,
To be honest, it
Doesn't
was
matter.
quite smooth after he left. Anyway, because all it really would have been,
are you saying he causes ripples?
it would
Right.
have literally just been him fighting as well. So
If he chose to, he might just choose
Yeah.
to meditate through it.
so it wouldn't have been.
We're done.
Yep.